and a high of 11. Friday, partly sunny at times and a high of 10. Saturday looks like sunny and a high of 11. Currently in downtown Regina, partly cloudy sky, and it is 6 degrees.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Sask Lotteries, bringing communities together. Sask Lottery products fund over 12,000 sports, culture, and recreation groups across Saskatchewan. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
On Roughriders, plunge right through that line. March the ball on down the field, a touchdown every time. Oh, Roughriders, fight on for your fame. Fight, fellows, fight, and we will win this game.
There it is, little on Rough Riders from our friends. We have no idea who sings that still to this day, do we, Coulson? Anyway, Riders win, and Riders win again today. We got lots to get to on the cage on this Tuesday for Saskatchewan Lotteries. Thanks for tuning in. Main fundraiser for sport, culture, and recreation in Saskatchewan. Blue Jays talk coming up. Arash Madani in hour one. We'll talk about the Regina Thunder setting a new junior football record in Canada. Kind of flew under the radar. Seemed like a lot of people caught that late. I was getting messages last night. It's like, yeah, it's a new record, and then it's even more than what they originally thought. Rough Rider Coaches Show. We're hoping to be joined by one of the coaches from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They've been keeping it close to their chest vest region. They haven't even let us know who's coming on to start the 2 o'clock hour. Eric Francis is back, our NHL insider. Eric comes on today at about 4:40. Let's talk some Flames, Oilers, Canucks. How about we go with that? Glen Suitor in hour 3. Also in hour 3, Pump Jacks Cathedral Trivia. Today, we are playing for $150 at Pump Jacks Cathedral. You can buy a lot of dry ribs. You can buy a lot of soup. Their soup is good too, or draft beer, or whatever you want. Just be tuning in hour 3. We're going to need you to call. Coulson's handling text messages and, let's say, calls today. If you want to call in, talk about the Riders and the win against Toronto. First place in the bag in the West. We're hosting a game. We're renting the stadium. That's a done deal. But then today, the Riders signed Jeremy O'Day and Corey Mace to 2-year contract extensions. No duh. There are going to be some people out there, and I love you, that are like, why would they do that? What have they done? This is the move, people. Don't overthink it. There's a lot of overthinking going on in this world. Don't overthink this one. Great move by everyone involved. I'm sure it's not just one person that's making the decision. Maz is with me today. Maz, we've been through that. We've been through the lean years, like a lot of Rider fans. When you go back to the 80s, where they were holding telethons, they had no money. The coaches were, I don't know, parents almost at some point. There were some rough years. Then there were some rough years a few years ago.
Let's just go back after 2013, Ken Miller, all of that wrapped up. Can I remind you, for anybody that's doubting what happened today, Remember Greg Marshall? Remember when Greg Marshall was the head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders? Probably one of the darkest periods in Rider Nation. To me, yeah, this is a no-brainer. J.O. has brought stability. And then in the press release, when you look at the draft record alone, of all the dudes that is there 17 players he's drafted that are on the current roster? That's a pretty good batting average as a general manager.
Just what he's been able to do with the injuries. And let's just say in the last month, hey, Sheldrick Redwine, where did you come from? But he found him.
What Planet Fitness were you a personal trainer at in Central Florida where Jeremy O'Day is calling your cell phone while you're working with a mom group doing squats? I got to take this call. It's Jeremy O'Day and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Sorry, ladies, I got to go.
So here's the thing. To use your term, here's the thing in life. You cannot please everybody. And if I'm wrong, 936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line. Is there a job? Is there a person? Is there somebody out there that has been able to please everybody? I don't think so. When you're the GM or the coach or the quarterback, you could go down and down, of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, there is 0% chance that if they win the Grey Cup, if there's a parade on Albert Street, where thank God it's not on Victoria, because we'll get to the fire of last night in a bit. If there is a parade down Albert somewhere, there will be mad. They'll be hosting the trophy will be up. There'll be vehicles, convertibles, honking, celebrating. There will be those people, guys and girls maybe, that what did he do? He didn't do anything. It was the players. You cannot. It's like this job. Like when people are like, I don't like your show. Okay. Do you think that honestly that I think that everybody likes me as a human and my show? Not a chance. I'm a 50-50 at best. I have been my whole life, I'm comfortable in that skin. I am so comfortable in that skin.
I'm 50-50 in my own house most days.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind.
Well, when you're doing laundry and treating it like an all-inclusive, they better be at least 70-30.
Not this weekend. I was struggling. I was 40-60 at times. But we'll get to that. If you were watching the football game yesterday, the Montreal Alouettes were having their way with the Ottawa Redblacks, and they kept showing Bob Dice on the sideline as they do. Keep in mind, the Ottawa Redblacks interviewed two serious candidates to become their head coach. One was Corey Mace, one was Bob Dice. They went with Bob Dice. Feel fortunate we got Corey Mace here as head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And why wouldn't they? Because I don't know where else you're going to turn. Who else out there is better at the moment? The stability, and I just look back to the Greg Marshall years. And then we got into the Chris Jones years. And Chris Jones, like Donald Trump, is very polarizing. You either like him or hate him, or you hate everything about him and anything he does, even if they make smart decisions, like saying Trey Ford's not a starting quarterback in the CFL because he just isn't good enough yet. Crucified until this year. Cody comes in. They start winning football games. This is easy. And it seems like the football game back on Friday was so long ago now, and so much has happened. They've already had 2 days of practice, but like, oh yeah, that's right. We beat Toronto. We clinched first place, and we got a home. Yeah, we're hosting the West Final.
Yeah. Sure. Jeremy O'Day and Corey Macer. What doesn't that trump in on everything today? I got notes from the football game too. I got questions. Why was that Daggy fellow around? Why was he allowed to play? Like his brain
concussions in game. He got taken out 7 times, and yet they kept throwing him back out there. And if we're when we get to the football game, hats off to Toronto. Gutsy effort by Dinwiddie and a list of nobodies coming to town, making it hard.
Did you expect any different?
No, but the thing that got me was we're moving the ball. We threw for 340 yards, but we kicked 5 field goals. Brett Lothar had a great night, but a lot of us in Rider Nation want to see this offense dominating. When we hit the red zone, it's touchdown after touchdown after touchdown.
Yeah. Okay, let's stay on the Mace. Let's stay on the Mason O'Day thing here. We do have some audio on it. Coach Mace, the first question. It's not a surprise. What does it mean to get the deal done?
It's awesome, for my family and I to be able to stay here in Regina and represent this team, and it was such an easy, obviously, decision, right? We love it here, we love the community, and Rider Nation's been really good to us. So just extremely grateful for everybody that went into that decision. Obviously, Craig Reynolds and even Jo, and just for the opportunity and. Not here without a lot of people, obviously, right? Our staff has been unreal, and ultimately, obviously, the players, right? So, extremely grateful.
Yeah. What does Coach Mace do? Maybe he's our guest at 4:00 for Coach. What's the first thing he buys? Nice. Not that he's locked into. He's here for another 3 years. What's the first thing that you can say? Okay, we can put a pool in the backyard, kids. We pot committed. We can build that. We can build that structure. His kids are really cute. And his wife is like a fitness instructor. My daughter was in that. They had the female football thing, really well done, that they put on the Riders, by the way. And Coach Mace's wife was there. My daughter's like, she's in really good shape. I said, yeah, I think she's like a fitness teacher.
Yeah, I think she was one of the Stampeder cheerleaders when he was there as a player.
That I did not know.
Question. Mm-hmm. How much longer was the Mason O'Day deal? Were they signed through 2026 and this is an early extension, or were there deals up at the end of this year? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Colson's our answer guy.
Yeah, when I was looking online, it was extended to through 2028, so they were going till 26 already.
Okay, okay. Instantly, I thought, what? Mace wasn't signed past the end of this year? No, it was wrong. It was a 3-year deal originally, which is standard. Now, here's the thing with the CFL coaching cap, which I don't like and they should get rid of. If your team does well money-wise, like a business, you should be able to spend. Let's say Corey Mace and Jeremy O'Day are getting the maximum already. They don't necessarily get a raise per se. They just get more years on their contract. But if they do a good job, should they not be entitled to more compensation? But no, the CFL caps that.
That's a very Canada thing to do.
Oh, very. Oh. Don't get me started on that. Or Steve, the repair guy who was here a few weeks ago. Steve, not in the good books. Which is mean. That's why I was 40-60 this weekend, because my basement windows are broken. And no one's fixing them. And
yeah, that's... Probably want to get that figured out here in the next few weeks. Winter's coming. Anyway.
Winter's here.
So, Prairie Land Rentals text line, 936-6262. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street, where they are starting to see Husqvarna snow throwers arriving. You will need those. Anything you need for rental jobs as it gets cold, Prairie Land Rentals, deal with the owner, 600 Albert Street. Oh, just heard? Kent Majuri's coming on Coach's show. He's a beauty.
Oh.
Colson, you got to look up the last time we were talking about cheeseburgers with him or something. We were talking about burgers with him. Kent's a good guy.
Yeah, he was he was great breaking down the X's and O's part of football to a point of you're like, holy. But then the real life stuff with him was awesome.
I'm going to ask him which coach. Obviously, there's some sort of supper tonight. Coach Mace and Jeremy Doe taking all of you guys out for a nice supper. Wouldn't there be? Celebratory? Or you go with the family?
Well, last week, Andrew Harris said that Coach Mace brings in a lot of fried chicken to the facility.
Can we try some of that over here at the Sportscage?
Listen,
sample?
Let's just be happy we got cable. We can watch the Blue Jays game. All right?
Oh, Arash Madani's coming up in a bit. Blue Jay fans. Ooh. We'll get to
I said this back in August. There's one team that the Toronto Blue Jays
I said this guy. Don't be I said this
Colson,
guy.
Pull the tape. I said on the show one day, there's one team you probably don't want to play in the playoffs if you're the Blue Jays. It's the Seattle Mariners. Why? Because they're just like you and can be great when they need to be. They can be explosive. They can shut things down. They can play any kind of baseball. And the Mariners are doing a little to the Blue Jays what the Blue Jays have done to pretty much everybody else all year.
Okay, let's stick with the Rider thing. We got enough time to talk about the Blue Jays, and I got people that they're not doing well today. They're not in a good spot. But Coach Mace just talked about it in that first clip. And he says he loved Calgary, still loves Calgary. Community guy. He just that's what he seems like. So here's him talking about what has the community meant to him.
It's unbelievable, man. The people of Saskatchewan have been nothing but plush to our family. Even, yesterday, my boy Chewy out there at his first, hockey practice, and, all the neighbors and stuff helping this guy. I know nothing about hockey and just getting us all geared up. And, I mean, everybody's just been first class here. And it feels like an extended family, and that's big for us.
Kids playing hockey. That was fun in the winter when we talked to him, and I asked him, when's the last time you skated? Coach out there. It's the move. It was the play. Don't overthink it. And you know what? They're doing such a good job that reward them. Hey, any employers out there listening to this show, farmers and all that, when you have good employees, sometimes kick them something. Just do it. And the best part is, in any good team that I've ever been around, business, it goes into anything. Not everybody thinks the same. You know how boring that would be? You know how bad that would be? It's like a marriage. If you and your partner were the exact same person, you know how awful that would be? Or if one is just rollover central, it's like, well, this isn't a challenge. Like, what? Give me something here. I mean, I can just do anything I want?
Oh,
no, they're rewarding. They are rewarding greatness, the good that they're doing.
If Curtis is in the back listening, we need a meme made up where Barney is now giving marriage advice. Last week it was, what was it? Oh, healthcare was falling from trees. This year it's marriage advice. Rollover central. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Healthcare doesn't fall out trees. Nobody wants a spouse that's rollover central.
I think they're going. I think Government of Canada is going with that motto next year. I heard that they're changing things up. They heard it. They loved it. Phoenix Group is going to put some sort of campaign together.
Buy billboards.
Okay. Here's Coach Mace and him talking about his relationship with Jeremy O'Day.
Just being around, obviously I try to just say I'm a people person, and you kind of get vibes from people out the gate. Without having a relationship before taking this job with J.O., from the interview process and instantly as soon as we got here, things have clicked. Very easy. So our working relationship is excellent. Our friendship is excellent. It's awesome, man. So, I can't speak for anybody else anywhere else, but certainly in this position, it's been outstanding.
That's the other thing, because when you see that in sports where it's like, oh yeah, coach is brought in, usually it's a coach, and he's got to work with the manager, or if you inherit the manager or the coach.
Yeah.
A lot of times that doesn't work. And sometimes just guys can't get out of their own way. No, it's my idea. It's got to be my way. No, it's not you ever been on a good team? It's not how it works. So these guys, although they will say all the right things, and I truly believe like that if you don't think that coaching staff, and probably even with O'Day factored in and Reynolds, that they are not all like, hey, we could go on a road trip. We're all boys here. Like, there's not one weirdo. They're all like good, get along guys, but I'm sure they battle. And why wouldn't you?
Sure.
You have to.
We're fortunate that we've been able to catch glimpses of these guys kind of at the stadium or doing their thing where, you're kind of watching from afar. You can genuinely tell that they get along, that they actually because you can see when they don't, you can see when people don't. And I think they genuinely care for each other. You can see it in all the player videos that the players get ready, but you can see that the coaching staff generally, and a lot of, now the question is, okay, so if these two are locked up, does this automatically mean that everybody else and the assistants are going to get locked up? Because come the offseason, the Riders' success continues. We're 12-4, home playoff game, Grey Cup, all of that. There's a lot of other teams that may want what we have.
Somebody texted in here that doesn't like to leave their name. Where is it?
I know. Thanking Chris Jones for making the CFL salary cap.
Shit. When he was here, the front office gave him carte blanche on spending, and he went hog wild. Sure. I'd need to see the proof on that. But that is one comment. 936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line if you got something to say. Don says, awesome job. Re-upping. Gary's giving us a forecast in Winnipeg on Friday. Shows for 70% chance of rain. Could be an ugly day with the wind. Yeah, Gary. Are you going to the game, Gary? That's a maybe take the option kind of day in Winnipeg. Afghan, couch, fireplace, ketchup chips, watch the game. Listen to it. Whatever.
I haven't heard the term Afghan in about 30 years. Most people are calling it a comfort or a blanket these days.
Really?
And I had to explain to my kids on the weekend. Couch. And I had to explain to my kids on the weekend what a cabbage roll was, because in their sheltered life and this all-inclusive, they've never had them. But grandma's at Christmas, there could be, and they're like you'll like them. Trust me, you're fine.
That's a tough. That is one of the things, one of the delicacies. And if you're in Saskatchewan, if you've been here your whole life, if you just got here, obviously no, but you have eaten all kinds of cabbage rolls in your life.
Some good, some bad.
Yeah, and it's a tough sell to tell a kid this is going to be good, because they're like, what is it? It's like rice and sauce, and I know there's a million different ways to make them. I'm going with what my mom makes them. It's rice and a little bit of pieces of sausage or something rolled up in cabbage, and then some tomato soup, which is mixed in, has some other stuff, and it's really good. And they look at you and go, "Hey, bro, I don't eat cabbage."
Yeah, that was the conversation over Thanksgiving dinner, which, by the way, at the in-laws' house, which we cooked.
Sour cabbage rolls? Take a seat. Don't do it. Never doing it again. I appeased somebody once because I was like, okay, yeah, you made them. No, sour cabbage rolls, outski. Not my kind of thing. You know, my wedding had really good cabbage rolls.
Find out where Mesa's taking everybody for dinner, and let's just show up 20 minutes later to be like, yeah, well, Dave said, come on by. I didn't see his car in the parking lot. Maybe we beat him here.
We're going to have more audio coming up from Jeremy O'Day and Coach Mace on the big day, as the head coach and the vice president of football operations, also known as the general manager, have both inked deals through the 2028 season. It is for Saskatchewan Lotteries on this Tuesday. We'll take a quick break. We are streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. If you're watching online, thanks for making time today. If you're out there streaming, I don't know if you'd be harvesting today. Are you out there harvesting, anybody? The weather's kind of dicey. Things are wet, right? If not, you're on the old stick, 620 CKRM.
Rider Nation lives on 620 CKRM. I'm Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Friday is game day as the Riders take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Countdown to kickoff with Justin Dunk and Tegan Whitkos at 3. The pregame show's at 5. And kickoff with Luke Mullender and I is at 6. Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network is brought to you by Salford Equipment, Western Ag Professional Agronomy, and the Saskatchewan NDP Caucus. Stream every moment of Rider football at sportscage.com.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, do you want the next generation to know and care more about agriculture? Donate to the Acres for Education campaign by Agriculture in the Classroom Saskatchewan to help get students out of the classroom to experience agriculture. This year, every dollar donated will be matched up to $25,000 thanks to JGL, so your gift will make twice the difference. Donate at aitc.sk.ca/acres for education.
Ready to raise your shower game? Rent a water heater and water softener together from Reliance Heath and turn every shower into a spa-worthy experience. Right now, when you rent a new water heater and water softener together, you'll get $400 back, sent by check after installation. Why settle for meh when you can upgrade your whole home's water and get big cashback savings? Don't miss out on this limited time offer.
Call on Reliance.
Call on Reliance Heath today.
So, since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it.
I don't even know.
That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
All the farmland and equipment you could need are available at auction this fall with Ritchie Brothers. A wide variety of farmland auctions across Western Canada will begin in earnest in October and run into December to get you ready for the next season. With new parcels of land and equipment continually added to their inventory, make sure to visit their website so you never miss an opportunity. Head over to rbauction.com to get started. Again, that's rbauction.com.
The best bulls on the planet are coming for the bulls and their riders. Those 8 seconds go by in a heartbeat. 8 seconds to become a champion or nothing. This is Canada, and this is the PBR. The professional bull riders buck into SaskTel Center with 2 huge shows October 24th and 25th with the Saskatoon Classic. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.ca.
Here they are, the Cowboys of the PBR!
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 5050 is presented by ISC.
This is Sportscage. Watch our live stream at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Prairie Land Rentals text line quick. Maz is with me. Colson's in the pocket. It's Tuesdays. How about Clayton getting in on the halabshi, the cabbage roll talk? He says, oh my God, buddy, a good sour cabbage roll. There's nothing better in the world, but it has to be a good one made from a sweet old baba. Fried onions and butter on top of that. That's now you're talking petaha. Life is good. Clayton, he said, I'll take it one step further. The ones that are burnt a little bit at the bottom of the roaster. I love those with the tomato sauce, the regular cabbage rolls. Oh, when they're a little bit burnt. Yeah. You get that crunch going
Crisp
at it.
edges.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dean from Regina texting in, we need to lock up Mark Mueller next. I agree, Dean. I agree.
Yeah,
or is I don't think he jumps ship. Mark, I think he sticks out another 2 years.
Well, if you're looking at opportunity, you also have to look at what you'd be going to, like what's in place. Like, let's say Ottawa, the job comes open if they're going to move on from Bob Dice, and then they probably will. What do you have in that roster? And then the general manager, because if the GM is staying, like, what do they have to spend? What's he going to have to work with? Like, those are all considerations of, yeah, it'd be great to be a head coach, but do you want to be a head coach that sticks around for a while? Do you want to be a head coach for 2 years? You miss the playoffs both years, and next thing you know, you're looking for a job again.
And we talked about the dark days. With somebody messaging in too. Dark days versus what we have now. Larry from Speedy Creek.
Yeah. If all we have to worry about now is just winning and losing, that's so much easier than being a Rider fan in the past where you had winning and losing. There was that. You had the front office usually carousel
You were
of what's
broke.
going on, coach and general manager. And then there's the financial. Then there's all the other stuff of like, I don't know, do we sell us an 83 Dodge Coronet and donate the money to the Riders? Oh, sure, if it keeps them around. If we can sign Matt Dunnigan from the Birmingham Barracuda, sure, I'm in.
Yeah, like garage sale, bottle drive, Richie Hall showing up. How many bottles or cans? Yeah, we're in a good spot.
Yeah, we're in a good spot. If all you have to worry about now for the Saskatchewan Roughriders is just being a fan and winning and losing, and that seems crazy to say as a sports fan, but we've been through everything. Isn't this much easier? Isn't the best thing of going, oh, our biggest problem is we kicked 5 field goals and we still won a game. Man.
Speaking of the stadium and the team and the financials, we get into this later. They are going. They're giving all the ticket specials for the West Final, so like no excuses to go watch the West Final. We can talk about a little bit more of that later. Keep the text messages coming to the Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. Cabbage rolls, what's your favorite? All that. We are going to give away some Rider tickets a little bit later, and a whole lot more. But let's get into it. Blue Jays talk. Here we go with Arash Madani.
It's time to go coast to coast with Arash Madani for Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
Before we get into Blue Jays, should I ask you about this? Coach Mace.
What do you got?
Jeremy O'Day re-signing them because they're good at their jobs.
And I would assume that in lockstep with O'Day and Mace, Craig Reynolds probably got himself a contract extension that would extend through 2028, like the head coach and GM. And I tell you what, guys, I was listening to the last part of what you were talking about. I get there are still wounds from a quarter century ago, but those days are done. Okay, they really are. We don't have to go back, all of that. I think in all of this, what's really been so impressive is Corey Mace. Here you have a first-time head coach. He is not 40 years old. He goes into the biggest pressure cooker into the league and has to kind of inherit a situation where there are a lot of question marks. And I agree with you. This bringing Mark Mueller, they worked together in Calgary, having him as the play caller, being the Trevor Harris whisperer. Like they have kind of gotten a renaissance out of Harris to be doing these things effectively at the age of 40. There's a lot of credit to go around with what's happened this season. But to me, when you think about what the Riders were a couple of years ago when Mace took over and where they are now, there's no shortage of credit. You know, you hear all the time about culture change, this, that. This is Corey Mace's team. And that has been solidified, crystallized, whatever you want to call it, all of those things.
And Maz and I talked about this in hour one. Let's not like overlook, I don't know, Jeremy O'Day from talking to him maybe 3 times in my life. He is very, I would say, standoffish, but business. And what he's been able to do in the last month by bringing guys in the defensive backfield and finding a guy he's got that much NFL experience. What was he doing? How did he find him? Like some of the moves, and they're not all going to work. It's not a video game, right? Yep. Like there's some credit there, huge.
Yeah, and I Barney, to me, it's not as much the replacements who are American. To me, where you got to hit home runs is in the draft.
Canadian, yeah.
What did the press release say today? Was it like 17?
17 drafted players are on the roster. That's crazy.
That's where you make your money. Like that's your bread and butter, right? And like there's home runs there. Obviously, Schaefer Baker's been dealing with some injuries, but I remember Kean Schaefer Baker when he was at Guelph, and I thought to myself, there's not much there to work with. Now, granted, this was his rookie and second year in university, but the Riders, you know, in a COVID draft, made that happen. Obviously, a Jew is, you know, what he is. But as much as you want to talk about all the kind of replacements, to me, this league remains Canadian, and it remains about what do you have at quarterback? And that question is still going to remain in Saskatchewan because, how much longer is Trevor Harris going to play and at what level? But to me, it's the Canadians where O'Day has really set his mark there.
I think one of the reasons, and Mace would probably agree, that J.O. set him up in a good spot in the situation he came in, because even when Craig Dickinson was here, they were still building and finding talent. Roland Milligan was a rider before Corey Mace showed up. There was a lot of these guys. Look at A.J. Allen, drafted in 2020, and it's 2025. He had 11 tackles on Friday. He had a sack. He had an interception. Like those kinds of guys coming through the pipeline, no matter who was coaching, it was always building, and then obviously we're seeing it pay off now, which to me, and Arash, I don't know, I would have to think if you have 17 drafted players on your roster, that has to be near the top of the CFL as far as drafts go, because look at how many busts there are in the first, second, and third round, guys that play a couple games or never play.
Yeah, because they're going to go on to get a job that's going to pay them more in a trade or, in business. Why are you going to continue to do this? It's a fair question. Here's the other thing that I find interesting about the Mace hire when you think back on it. Look at the construct of backgrounds of head coaches in the league right now. Montreal, Toronto, Hamilton, Calgary, BC are all offensive-minded coaches where they have all played quarterback at some point in their lives and their careers. All of them had at least a cup of coffee in the CFL. I want to give Scott Milanovic that. But everybody else has been an established quarterback. So that's 5 of your franchises. The other 3, Edmonton, Ottawa, who am I missing here? Winnipeg, O'Shea, Killam, Dice, all have basically come up as special teams coaches. So there is one defensive-minded head coach in the Canadian Football League, and that's Corey Mace. And that's, to me, I think that hasn't really been talked about, and it should not be understated that you went off the board. You didn't go get somebody who specializes in the kicking game. You didn't go get yourself a quarterback, even though that's what everybody else is doing. You said, okay, I have myself a play caller. Mueller's going to do that for me, but I'm going to change this building with a defensive mindset. And it's the only team in the league that has done that for quite a while.
Okay, let's move on from that. We got a lot of audio to get to later from O'Day, from Mace, and then now a little bit from Reynolds. Let's talk about the Blue Jays, because the last time we talked, I was almost going to buy some sort of clothing. I was close, and now what the heck happened to the Blue Jays? Seattle
happened to the Blue Jays.
They got worked over, and their offense where did it go? What's the deal, Arash?
Yeah, I mean, their bat just went away for a couple of through a couple of factors. I mean, the fact that they didn't have a base hit after the second inning of game 1 and didn't have a base hit after the third inning of game 2 tells you all you need to know. Vladimir Guerrero, who had 9 hits against the Yankees, 3 of them for home runs, is 0 for 7 in this series. And look, everything they touched turned to gold in that divisional series against the Yankees. All their moves paid off, and the rest. Guys, they're not this bad, but a lot of this is inevitable because of the Mariners' pitching. Yes, the Blue Jays have not stepped up. Yes, the Blue Jays have not delivered. But it's not one of those scenarios where they left runners stranded, etc. They haven't been able to generate anything, and this is what Seattle can do to teams, and this is what the Mariners have continued to do to teams, especially in the second half of the season.
Now, Arash, explain the Seattle Mariners, because a lot of people, if they don't know, they are not the New York Yankees. They are not stocked with superstars that you would see in TV commercials or like instantly recognize. They are just a working man's baseball team. You mentioned the pitching, but then you look at the guys in the outfield and you look at them and be like, yeah, but then, and then you got Big Dumper. Everybody knows Big Dumper now. But
yeah, there you
who
go.
is Seattle?
Well,
to the uneducated, who are the Seattle Mariners? Because we don't see them.
Yeah, it's honestly a lot of what you've seen the first two games. So what has that been? Really strong starting pitching. And they haven't even gone with their ace yet. To me, Luis Castillo is the best in their rotation. He's coming up when this series shifts to Seattle starting tomorrow. They still have Wu in the mix. There's more and more and more of this coming from a Mariners standpoint. So that's not going away. The other is they are deceptive. They have deceptive power. You would never think that a catcher is going to hit 60 bombs. Okay, Julio Rodriguez, who was their megastar just a couple of years ago, is now just part of this line. A line that has Polanco, who just can do no wrong in October, did it again last night with a 3-run shot that just absolutely opened the game. And then how about Josh Naylor? Like there's some grit to this team. Here you have a dude who grew up in Mississauga, suburban Toronto, used to come to games at this ballpark with his buddies and with his teammates. He's dealing with either an oblique or a hip, and he's thrown himself down the first base line to rob George Springer of extra bases that Springer dabbed him up for. And the next at-bat, Naylor goes yard. So this is who the Seattle Mariners are and have been. They're going to give you really good starting pitching. They have a lot of power in their bats, and they have a few different guys on the offensive end who can do it for them. When you have Maz, their designated hitter is hitting in either the 7-hole or the 8 spot in their lineup. That tells you how good their offense can be.
What isn't there like a crazy stat too? I was listening to another program down like Baseball Heavy, like 17,000 pitches or throughout the year, and he hasn't let one. He only let the one pass like in whatever game that was. Like the defensive side of him being a bad catcher, Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
How did they get that trident across the border? By the way.
Yeah, that's actually Barty. That's what I wanted to know. Like what athletic trunk or case did you have to sneak that in? Where some border guards like, whoa. I'm going to be a hardo. Watch this, Blue Jay fans.
Exactly.
I'm going to see CBSA on the job. I'm going to seize this at the airport. This is going in the office, boys. This is going in the office.
I wouldn't piss them off, Maz. They're pretty good when they're not angry. They're pretty good when they're exhausted. This is the amazing part of all this. Don't forget, guys. Game 1 Sunday, Game 2 Monday, Friday night. They go 15 innings against the Tigers. They use a bunch of their starters in relief, et cetera, and you're saying to yourself on the surface, shoot, the Blue Jays have them right where they want them. And then the Toronto Bats come up, and they can't get a ball out of the infield, and you're saying to yourself, oh, boy.
So with that, and here is me being, I kind of said I was thinking in the back of this dome, and I'm like, is this one of those things where it makes for a good story? How they played 15 innings and then their flight got delayed and then they just came in and they win. It's the story is there. Is this going to happen? And then sure enough, I'm looking at my Sports Select ticket and going, the hell were you thinking?
Well, here's the other thing. Who are the Toronto Blue Jays? What is the AL East in 2025? Just hear me out on this. With 10 days to go in the regular season, for a week, the Blue Jays couldn't win a game. And John Schneider said the sky isn't falling. They couldn't get anything going. Then they get through the final series of the season to sneak a division title. The Yankees showed us they don't have much. And really, they now come into the postseason with 2.5 starting pitchers. They have Kevin Gausman, unquestioned ace. They have this unicorn who's fallen from the sky, Trey Savage, who obviously Seattle is now caught up on. And Shane Bieber, their trade deadline acquisition, the former Cy Young Award winner, yes, okay, he didn't get out of the third inning against the Yankees. So maybe those 3 wins against New York were more the aberration. I don't know. It's baseball.
Well, and tomorrow night, Shane Bieber's getting the start for the Jays, which has me worried because if they get to him early, if he makes it through 3,
Chris
Bassett's
Bassett's
as you said,
gotta
Arash,
go. It's got to be Chris Bassett giving you length after Bieber if it's a 3-4 inning situation. Look, this is the most taxed bullpen left of any postseason team.
Yes.
Okay. They've asked so much of their relievers throughout the season. I'm not sure how much gas is left there.
Okay, we had about a minute left. And I can't believe that I could just talk baseball. We can continue going on this. You got to know this. You got to give me a Rob Vanstone here. You got to know, like, how many times has a team come back in the ALCS from being down 2 games? Do you have that in your noodle?
In a best of 7, when a team has lost the first 2 at home, they're 3 for 25 all time.
Saying there's a chance.
The last team to do it was the Yankees of 1996.
Yes.
And I'm just picturing Rick Pitino saying, Derek Jeter isn't walking through that door. So I don't know. But with
if you would have said 0, Mariners, I wouldn't have felt that good. You said 3. Still not
3. If you're a Blue Jay fan, you're worried about Mariners pitching. If you're a Blue Jay fan, you're relieved there's an off day today. And you just hope they can regroup. Vlad can't be this bad moving forward. The offense can't be this bad moving forward.
Yeah, that whole Yankee lose. Don't look too good now because Blue Jay lose 2 at home. Not good. Not a good look. Hey, let's catch up on what day? Thursday? This week? I don't know. It's Tuesday. You ever had a cabbage roll, by the way?
I have.
Yeah?
I have.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I'm much more a Western pizza. I'm a Western pizza guy. I'm not a cabbage roll guy. You know.
Most are. Okay, talk to you Thursday, buddy. See ya. Coast to Coast with Arash Madani is for Brian Golly. Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533. Quick break. Going back with the ticker. We're going to hear from Jeremy O'Day. It's a Sportscage, streaming at sportscage.com.
Ready to raise your shower game? Rent a water heater and water softener together from Reliance Heath and turn every shower into a spa-worthy experience. Right now, when you rent a new water heater and water softener together, you'll get $400 back, sent by check after installation. Why settle for meh when you can upgrade your whole home's water and get big cashback savings? Don't miss out on this limited time offer.
Call on Reliance.
Call on Reliance Heath today.
SEIU West members are
Stores Person,
Unit Assistant, Finance Officer,
Unit Clerk,
Recreation Coordinator,
Youth Care Worker,
Medical Laboratory Technologist, Power Engineer,
Office Administrative Assistant,
Maintenance Services Worker,
Medical Transcriptionist,
Medical Office Assistant, File Clerk,
Medical Laboratory Assistant,
Pharmacy Technician.
The backbone of your public health care system. Learn more at seiuwest.ca.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50/50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50/50 is presented by ISC.
Freeze Tallman wants you to get her done before the winter. They can save you time and hassle by delivering your building materials directly to your home or cottage. They have siding, roofing, brown-treated lumber, composite decking, aluminum railing, fencing, everything you need to finish your outdoor building projects before snow falls. Visit freezetallman.com or see them in Regina or Fort Capel. Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
All the farmland and equipment you could need are available at auction this fall with Ritchie Brothers. A wide variety of farmland auctions across Western Canada will begin in earnest in October and run into December to get you ready for the next season. With new parcels of land and equipment continually added to their inventory, make sure to visit their website so you never miss an opportunity. Head over to rbauction.com to get started. Again, that's rbauction.com.
Back to our regular spot, Pump Jacks Cathedral.
You know, I thought Pump Jacks was a kind of boot polish till last month.
What are you getting?
Kerwin's crispy ribs and a cold pint of local craft. Crispy, meaty, beautiful.
You had me a meaty.
Plus, we got live music on the weekends, big screens. This place is basically my second marriage.
And way cheaper than the first.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. From skid steers to tents to power tools, anything you need to rent for that summer job is at Prairie Land Rentals. Deal with the owner, 600 Albert Street. It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Bundle and save with Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together and get $400 cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today.
If you haven't heard, Roughriders extending Corey Mace and Jeremy O'Day 2 more seasons after next. Good news in Rider Camp. As for O'Day, he was asked, is this a reward for a job well done? Yep.
I think it's fair to say that. But again, we're trying to build something special here, and obviously with the hiring of Corey and kind of the trajectory that we're going is obviously what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve home playoff games and put ourselves in positions to win Grey Cup. So certainly excited to continue to do that.
Soccer fans, there's a friendly tonight, Canada and Colombia. In men's soccer, it's in New Jersey. Canada lost to Australia 1-0 on Friday. SJHL, Nipawin plays host to Flin Flon. Kindersley's in Weyburn. Larange welcomes Warman. Prairie Junior Hockey League, the Moosomin Steelhawks are in Fort Knox. NHL tonight, Montreal welcomes Seattle. Toronto plays host to Nashville. Edmonton's at the New York Rangers, and Vegas is in Calgary. Major League Baseball, Los Angeles Dodgers, Milwaukee Brewers. Dodgers lead the best of 7, 1-0. Sportscage.com poll today. Will Bo Bichette play another game with the Toronto Blue Jays? You can vote at sportscage.com. The ticker is for Reliance Heath Water Heater. Bundle and save right now with Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together and get $400 cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today. Maz, quickly. Text messages coming in about the extension. And then Jeffrey in Calgary really thinks it all stems from Calgary. Everything good that happens in the CFL is because of Huffnagel and the Stamps. There is some truth. You got 20 seconds, too, before we go to break.
Huff's been, it's 2 decades plus in Calgary, and that tree from where the Huffnagel disciples have fallen, they're touching everywhere in the league. And Mace is one of them. First as a player, and then gets into coaching. Mueller, same thing. So they've got to come from somewhere. And, hey, you know what? Hey, Huff, thanks for training him up good. We really appreciate what you did. Thank you for Corey Mace.
A couple of people are messaging in, too, wanting to get into the video booth, which we can in hour 2, and how they can just now all of a sudden call down arbitrarily, which if that's the case, just get rid of the refs and let's do it like that the whole time. Full-time call-down guy.
Rider Nation, be happy on that Friday. It went in our favor. But the CFL, like karma, has a weird way of working itself out. And over these next few weeks, when it doesn't go our way, you need to be chipper like you were on Friday.
Hour 2 is going to come up with the Coach's Show. Kent Majuri is going to join us. And our first installment of Inside the NHL with Eric Francis. It's the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. One full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Freeze Tallman wants you to get her done before the winter. They can save you time and hassle by delivering your building materials directly to your home or cottage. They have siding, roofing, brown-treated lumber, composite decking, aluminum railing, fencing, everything you need to finish your outdoor building projects before snow falls. Visit freezetallman.com or see them in Regina or Fort Capel. Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
Football's in full swing, hockey's heating up, and the baseball playoffs are just around the corner. There's only one place you need to be, Pop Jack's Cathedral. Catch every game on the big screens with 30 beers on tap, Wing Wednesdays, and Pop Jack's famous pub-style beer-battered fish and chips. Or go big with a full rack of ribs. You've earned it. Live sports, cold beer, hot food on the corner of Albert and 13th. Pop Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
The best bulls on the planet are coming for the bulls and their riders. Those 8 seconds go by in a heartbeat. 8 seconds to become a champion or nothing. This is Canada, and this is the PBR. The professional bull riders buck into SaskTel Center with 2 huge shows October 24th and 25th with the Saskatoon Classic. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.ca.
Here they are, the Cowboys of the PBR!
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
From the towers to the tractors, country's greatest hits. 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Corey Atkinson from the sasktoday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news. The intersection of Saskatchewan Drive and Broad Street has reopened after a collision and vehicle rollover earlier today. At around 10:50 a.m., Regina police responded to reports of a crash with a driver trapped inside. Investigators say the driver hit another vehicle, then sped west in the eastbound lane before rolling near a parkade on Rose Street. The driver suffered only minor injuries and was taken to hospital. Charges are pending as the investigation continues. A large fire tore through a property under construction Monday night around the 1500 block of Victoria Avenue in Regina. Witnesses say flames spread quickly, damaging nearby homes before firefighters contained the blaze at around midnight. No injuries were reported. Residents say they were shocked by how fast the fire grew and questioned how it started, since the home had no electricity. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. A Yorkton man is facing a second-degree murder charge following the death of a Winnipeg resident earlier this month. On October 7th, police found 51-year-old Curtis Gilman Barassa dead outside of a home on Victoria Avenue in Yorkton. RCMP Major Crimes led the investigation, which led to the arrest of 51-year-old Henry Wayne Chartrand on October 11th. He appeared in Yorkton Provincial Court today. Police say the case remains under investigation. Regina's Executive Committee will hear budget requests tomorrow from the Regina Public Library, Economic Development Regina, and the Provincial Capital Commission. The library is asking for a 3.85% mill rate increase in 2026 and a 4.33% raise in 2027, along with a 5.5% dedicated mill rate for the Central Branch renewal. EDR and PCC also outlined their funding needs. Final decisions come next week at City Council. BC Premier David Eby is calling on Ottawa to restate its support for the tanker ban off BC's northern coast after Prime Minister Mark Carney has not ruled out lifting the ban. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith has been pushing for the repeal of the ban as part of a proposed pipeline from northern Alberta to BC's coast. But Eby says the pipeline would jeopardize real projects.
To have the Premier of one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest province in Confederation, insisting that the country does not work and is broken unless she gets her way and gets this tanker ban lifted, even if it costs all Canadians tens of billions of dollars in major projects that actually exist with proponents, is absurd.
Eby says lifting the tanker ban undermines the social license among coastal First Nations for LNG, port expansion, and mining projects in northwestern BC. And teenagers on Instagram will be restricted to seeing PG-13 content by default and won't be able to change their settings without a parent's permission.
Instagram users under 18 will now have tighter controls on language, images, and themes turned on automatically. Tara Hopkins, Global Director of Public Policy at Instagram, says it's the type of content you'd see in a PG-13 movie.
We're doing this to really speak the language of parents who are much more familiar with movie ratings in terms of kind of a familiar model for those who are using Instagram.
Also, teens won't be able to opt out of the system without permission from a parent. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
That is your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina, Serious Protection, Killer Looks, 1865 McCarra Street.
Weather tonight, partly cloudy and a low down to -1. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 10. Tomorrow night, becoming cloudy, developing showers and a low down to 3. Thursday, cloudy, isolated showers and a high of 11. Friday, partly sunny at times and a high of 10. Saturday looks like sunny and a high of 11. Currently in downtown Regina, partly cloudy sky, and it is 6 degrees.
For 40 years, the team from Line X Regina has been protecting vehicles across Saskatchewan, and we're changing with the times. 3 generations of our family have protected your vehicles. Our business has evolved, and we're not stopping now. The next generation is here. Same family, same commitment, ready for the next generation of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards in all kinds of colors. Line X Regina, 1865 McCarra Street, the next generation of protective coatings.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Sask Lotteries, bringing communities together. Sask Lottery products fund over 12,000 sports, culture, and recreation groups across Saskatchewan. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage. Tuesday, Saskatchewan Lotteries, main fundraiser for sport, culture, and recreation in Saskatchewan. Maz is with me. Tuesday, short week. Rider game on Friday. This week's weird already. Colson's in the pocket, taking your texts, calls. We are playing SaskTel Pick the Score today. For the next, how long do you want to go, Colson? Hour, 2 hours? Your call. For the next 2 hours, Colson says, 936-6262. What is the score? Riders, midnight. Bombers, Friday. Chance to win tickets to the next home game versus British Columbia. You got a chance to win a $200 SaskTel gift card as well. Thanks to our friends at SaskTel. And then also, don't forget, Saskatchewan Roughrider Foundation 50-50 before Thursday at 5 p.m. That's the cutoff. A lot of people just have this thing locked and loaded where it just renews every week. Probably smart because you're in for the early bird prize this week, Maz. This one isn't vague. They are letting us know. It's not like you're going to Mexico. You're going somewhere hot. This is, I would love this. You wouldn't?
No, not at all.
It is the Churchill Polar Bear Tour. The package includes 2 direct flights from Saskatoon to Churchill. Where's that connector? Winnipeg? Would that be it? Winnipeg connector, probably?
Direct. No, it's direct.
Direct flights. Would somebody fact check that? Unless there's a charter going out of some sort. 1-day tour, 5 to 6 hours guided tundra buggy tour. Nope. That's those for sure. I'm all in. And all ground transportation taken care of. Or you could take this is a problem though. 7,200 cash. I would have to think long and hard if I win this.
I'm just if it's one thing to be out with the polar bears, and it's another thing to be out there with the polar bears and having a chance that if anything goes sideways, that you may be able to protect yourself from the polar bears, which may be hungry. That's why I'm not going. I'm like, no, I'm good. Send the photos. I'll catch the reels on your Instagram account. Show me everything that happened.
I'm all in.
For me, not so much.
I am all in on this. I 7,200 cash though. That would be the problem. Anyways, rider5050.ca. You have until Thursday at 5 p.m. to be in for the early bird prize. Okay, back to the big news of the day. Coach Mace, Jeremy O'Day, extension with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So after next year, 2 more years. Because Colson laid it on the line. He said they were good next year. Probably smart. Now, where do you think, where does your gut say, and you can have your say as well, 936-6262, Paradigm Rentals text line, where does this leave Mark Mueller? What's your gut say? Don't overthink this one. What does your gut say?
O'Day and Mace seem like really good guys that are all about opportunity because they've been given opportunity. If somebody wants to talk to him in the offseason to interview, they'll, of course, say yes. You can talk with our guy who is part of our coaching staff and is under contract. I think they would do that for everybody that's involved with the coaching staff because that's what everybody's looking for, opportunity, right? You would hopefully think that the people that you're working for would be like, listen, you've done everything we've asked. You have an opportunity. We'd love for you to stay. But they know this. Like if Toronto hadn't given their blessing for us to talk to Corey Mace, because keep in mind, Mace was defensive coordinator. He was on Dinwiddie's staff. They're winning Grey Cups. They're dominating the league.
No. You 100,000% you let him go talk to whoever. You're never going to hold somebody back from bettering themselves. If you are, you're a massive you-know-what. So, yeah. But I think when it comes to him, again, I don't know him. We've never bellied up to a bar together, drank beer. I would think, though, I'd be like, nah, this is a pretty good thing we got here. This is a pretty good thing here. 2 more years, and then maybe I'll be ready to go. That's just me, though. Maybe he's like, I'm all in. Ottawa's beautiful. Golf until mid-November. Not that he'd be doing that. But, yeah, and he'll take that. That would seem like an absolute dumpster fire to go into right now. But then you got to build it. You got to build it, and they got to be patient. Are they going to be patient? Do Ottawa fans really care? Sorry, Ottawa fans that are listening. Do you really care?
Can I throw something crazy? Because everybody thinks that Ottawa is going to be looking for a head coach, that Bob Dice isn't going to survive the offseason. But what about all those people last year, those Bomber fans that were saying Mike O'Shea needs to be done? Like it's his last year. What if Winnipeg decides to move on from Mike O'Shea? I'm not saying that they are, but what if?
And hire Bob Dice?
Because Ottawa, no, I don't know, but where else would you go outside of Ottawa? Everybody else seems solid, and they all have new coaches. Balanovich isn't going anywhere in Hamilton. Jason Moss isn't going anywhere in Montreal. Like Dinwiddie's resume, he's done enough. Once again, if we were going to talk about that football game, very first thing I say is hats off to Ryan Dinwiddie and that club you brought to town, scratching and clawing and giving everything they had.
I would not expect
give the Saskatchewan Roughriders a game.
Would not expect anything less. We had him on the show. Always liked his, like you said, his scrappiness. Love it.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be the guy that's always going to say, okay, yeah. Probably going to fire back at you once in a while. He's a little abrasive. Like it. But when it's on the line, you want that guy.
Yeah.
You want him.
Well,
and look what he did in the Grey Cup last year with Arbuckle. That name sounds made up. He won the Grey Cup.
I love him because he's in it. He's even when they're losing, he's coaching right till the end. And how he rallied those guys to play, like a lot of us Rider fans, we wanted 45 points put up on Toronto. They didn't let it happen. Their D-line played well. Their O-line played pretty good. There wasn't a ton of great numbers in that game for anybody on the Argonauts. 220 passing, top receiver had 55 yards. They had 30 yards rushing, but they somehow managed to just hang around. That's what they do.
Yeah. Keep your text messages coming to the Prairie Land Rentals text line. We see them there. We'll get to them in a bit, but let's get it going with this week's edition of the Coaches Show.
It's time for the Sportscage Riders Coaches Show for the Saskatchewan Roughrider Foundation. Get your 50-50 tickets now for all Rider home and away games. Riders5050.ca and Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
I got off the start, Kent. I gotta go back, and I've told some people this, and I'm like, yeah, I was talking to one of the Rider coaches a little while ago, and his favorite football video game was Madden 92. They're like, what? Not Tecmo Bowl? Not like PlayStation? No, he said Madden 92.
Sega Genesis, baby.
Nice.
That spin move, it was unstoppable.
I got one at the lake. I'm going to have to buy it and then go up there and play it, and then we'll reconvene and be like, I don't know how you like this. Coach, hey, you guys are hosting a home playoff game in a few weeks here. The West Final will be at Mosaic Stadium. For what you guys did Friday against a scrappy Toronto team, I'm sure you can't be happier.
Oh, yeah, fired up for the guys. They played well. We knew we were going to get every team's best shot, and that team's a prideful group. They've won a lot of games. They're pros, so I was glad the guys responded well and found a way to win.
Last week on the show, we had Andrew Harris on, and he told us that Coach Mace likes to bring in fried chicken. Now that he signed this contract extension today, did he bring in more fried chicken than usual, or are you guys all going out for fried chicken, or is there somewhere else you're going to eat? Because you got to give us these details, because now we want to know. If his pocketbook's full, where are we going to go chow down?
Well, let's get a steak. I'll talk to him about that. Yeah. Hell with fried chicken. Let's get some prime rib in here.
All of a sudden, there's a new deep fryer in the coach's room. You're just making it there. Yeah, no, you guys got to go somewhere tonight. You got to celebrate. Feather in the cap for those guys, though.
Yeah, it's family first here. Those guys are great people. What you see is what you get. The leadership's outstanding. The players, obviously, they're the reason that we're winning. Thank God. We don't have to do anything. But, it starts at the top with Craig Reynolds and J.O. and Mace and everybody's we're all in the circle, and it's truly family first, and it's fun to work with guys like this, and I think the players see that, and they we've got a really good tight knit group, and the best teams that I've been on as a player or as a coach, the championship teams always had the tightest group.
Coach, you're 12-4, and it's really easy because things for most part of the season have gone well. Toronto. Ryan Dinwiddie, and what he's had to contend with all year between injury and roster and all of that, but still keeping it together in week 19 for that. Can you speak to just how hard or how challenging that could be as a coach when things aren't going well, but you keep the squad together?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. And kudos to the locker room for those guys, because they keep it together more than the coaching staff, really. It's those guys handling their business, in the locker room, in meetings, making sure everybody's motivated. I mean, as coaches, you try to put together the best scheme. You're just trying to go 1-0 that week. And it's the players that got to capitalize, and they got to have that fire and go out there and win their matchups.
Are you happy with where things are? Obviously, there's always things to work on. We've got to do this with the special teams group. Are you happy?
Yeah. Never satisfied, but, the effort and physicality we play with, I think, it shows up on tape every day. Clearly, we could be better in penalties and, some of our specialist issues that we've had. But when we take the field, our guys expect to go out there and compete and play hard and win the play. And that's the kind of the mentality that I want these guys to have, just to go 1-0 on that play and control what they can control, which is their effort, their toughness. So I'm proud of them. They're doing well.
Last time we had you on, Coach, you explained how there's offense, there's defense, but then they all come and filter through special teams, and you're always looking, watching, evaluating. It's hard to pick a favorite kid. Are there a couple of players that from the start of the year till now have really blossomed in your mind as to they've really taken up that role on special teams that maybe outside of just like the regulars, like the Mario, there's some guys that maybe we're not seeing, but you're seeing?
Sure. So Aaron Patrick, I think, is one of the top special teams players in our league. He may not make the tackle a lot of times, but he makes the play, if that makes any sense. He is a problem out there. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's physical and violent, plays the right way. He's been an absolute pleasure to coach this year, and really thrilled the success that he's had.
With the weather changing and all that, and special teams, obviously protect the ball. Like you protect the ball, make it wet, make it greasy out there. As a special teams coach, maybe not the guys that are going to be hanging onto the ball. What's the difference in coaching with the change of weather and what we could see a little bit of everything in the next few weeks?
Well, we're fortunate because we practice out here every day. So it snowed a little bit today at practice. It rained a little bit, and it was sunny. So good thing in Saskatchewan we get to see the elements. But no, you have to prepare for it. The snappers, the holders, the punters, the kickers, the returners, they all have to do it. And even from training camp, it was a wet training camp. But if the forecast is showing rain, then we'll use a wet ball. So we'll bring a bucket of water out there so they're using it. And then always, every week we're anticipating wind and playing the wind, and whether we cheat up people's alignment or back them up or put a whole new personnel group out there to secure the ball. It is that is first and foremost on in our return game focus, and then we're trying to go get it on cover units.
Mario Alford has been on the injured list. He's been back a few games. I thought last game he's got that pop back. He's got that step, that quickness. Are you seeing that as well? I'm like, there's that burst. That one step, and then he's gone. So are you seeing that too?
Yeah, okay, he's got the juice back. Winnipeg, he looked like me on one of those missed field goals. Right? But I appreciate his toughness. These guys are tough, and they don't want to let anybody down. They want to be out there with their teammates playing. And you don't think of a returner being physically tough like that, but he wanted to go out there and try, and he just wasn't ready yet, and so took some time off, and I think he's back.
What do you say to Brett Lawther after that game on Friday?
Thank you. I don't have much dark hair left or any hair up top. No, he's a warrior. Like, he's dealt with a lot of stuff this year, and I'm proud that that he went out there and competed like he did and executed. So it's nice to see when hard work works, because they care about it. They work so hard, and sometimes it's like this a little bit, and hopefully it's arrow up, which he's looked good in practice. He's competing and working hard.
So last week when Michael Hughes comes in, the new kicker from down in the States, as his coach, it's week 18, week 19. What can you possibly do at this stage of the season? But you have to get somebody potentially ready to kick in a league that they've never kicked in ever before. Because now it's like, oh, God, where's the KFC? Pass that around. I'm going to need another piece here. I'm going to be here for hours.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, some of these guys, they don't know there's 12 guys on the field. And I think the biggest thing for those players, the kickers, the punters that come up, is the field width and the field size. It's so much different. And for kickoffs, a lot of it changes. So we don't have a lot of time, but he was here early and stayed late, and we worked to learn this game. And he's a good one. He's special. So I'm excited if he gets an opportunity too. We'll see what he's got.
If you ever talk to Wes Cates, you got to ask him about the time that he was back for special teams and he counted too many guys on the field in Calgary and he ran off. The coach was like, "Hey, you dummy, we play with." We played with 12.
12.
If you watch, oh man, what the heck year was it? It was the West Final in Winnipeg, and we had one of the Herman Reeds. He was our counter guy on punt return, and he counted too many, and he sprinted off, and like Pete Rose head first slide, and it was snowing and icy, and he slid about 10 yards. I helped him up. I said, now we're playing with 11, thanks. But it happens, because I just tell him, you have one chance to count, and if you count it wrong, you better run off, and then we'll deal with the rest. I'd rather have 11 than too many.
When you're giving advice to a brand new field goal kicker in a brand new situation, obviously, hopefully the first piece is don't miss, because you'd mentioned the width of the field, because somebody's going to be running this back, just put her down the uprights. What are you looking for in a brand new player like that? Is it potential, obviously accuracy, but you've seen a million of these guys. What is it for you that's got to tick the boxes to be like, okay, there's something here?
It's more than just making them through too. So like when we're trying these guys out, we want to see where is it going in? What kind of lift does he have? Is he barely making them all one way, or is he hitting them all true and right up, high and in the middle of the uprights? So leg strength, obviously, any kind of touch that he has for kickoffs, different types of kicks are important. So obviously you have to have leg strength and power at this level. You got to have great control, lift and rotation, because the wind up here will affect the ball flight for sure. And then, any kind of onsides or surprise type kicks, shots in the bag, we like to see.
We talked to Chris Milo last week, former Rough Rider kicker, and we were talking about in the NFL how the balls are just flying. And he said, yeah, it's like kicking a soccer ball now. What are the changes to the CFL game? Because they started talking about the different leather in balls. As special teams coach, is there any truth to that? Is the CFL balls now going further too?
They must have given us the wrong ones this year. I don't know. I want some of those helium balls down in the down south. So, I don't know. I just hope we have 12 out there and let's run and hit somebody.
Last one for you, Coach. Now they're talking about, okay, well, this guy, we're going to maybe rest him. We're going to rest this when it comes to to Winnipeg and the other games. Special teams wise, do you really have that luxury? Is it kind of like, hey, everyone's got to play?
Well, when that happens, usually it's the core teamers that are getting the start or getting to play more. So now we have to shuffle the deck on special teams, and we're so limited roster size. But the good thing is guys are, especially if they're going to start, maybe they're going to play certain number of series or quarters or halves or whatever, they're proud and they're pumped for their backup to get in there and get some playing time, and they're more than willing to pick up some slack on specials. So we got a good culture.
I didn't know this, but we had Charleston Hughes on a few weeks ago, and he said when he was a Calgary Stampeder, the rule was with Huff, every starter played on at least one special team. And it said it kept guys focused and in the game. Have you ever been part of a situation like that where you'd mentioned even these starters? No, everybody takes a turn.
It just depends to me on your makeup and on your roster, the age of guys. Like our guys are all more than willing, but they don't. It's not mandatory that I do that. I just try to use my best judgment. I get a report every game to see how many reps they're getting. How many defensive reps, how many special teams reps. And you don't want to wear out these guys, especially some of the older guys. But, there's limited rosters, so they got to play. Somebody goes down, next man up, and it's the same type of mentality and expectation when they're out there. So.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go get probably changed up and for this big steak supper that Coach should be taking you to.
Or fried chicken in the office.
Either one is a win for me.
Thanks for doing this again, Coach. Best of luck.
Thanks, guys.
Right
See ya.
Rider special team special teams coordinator Kent Majura joining us. Big Madden 92 fan. This fried chicken now, you gotta be craving fried chicken a little bit.
Yeah, as long as it's white meat. I don't eat dark meat.
We got into this a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I'm big chicken breast for sure. Drumstick, I don't know.
No. It's not the 70s. You can't fool me. I know.
The other thing, like Kent's been with the team pre-regime, right? Like 2016. He was there for some of those dark years.
He's seen a lot, and like loyal soldier. So there's a guy that, and I'm sure he's the special teams coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Could probably have an expanded role doing something just because of the wealth of knowledge that he has of special teams. As Darian said, there's two people that know everything about a football team, the quarterback and the special teams coach. They have to know every player and what they do and what they don't do.
All
He
right.
would know it.
Yeah. SaskTel picked the score, 936-6262. Colson standing by is going to award 2 tickets to the next Rider home game. Text in your scores for this Friday's game in Winnipeg. We're going to come back with the Clutch Performer. It is the Sportscage streaming at sportscage.com.
What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Doug had questions, he talked to Brian Gawley.
What I see with Brian is he actually puts in the time and he spends some of his own money to go to conferences and get the latest up-to-date stuff, what's going on, and seems to have a passion for it.
You don't have to plan your financial future alone.
I would definitely recommend Brian because he's done well for us.
Call Brian Gawley of Smart Investing Solutions, 306-546-2533.
The best bulls on the planet are coming for the bulls and their riders. Those 8 seconds go by in a heartbeat. 8 seconds to become a champion or nothing. This is Canada, and this is the PBR. The Professional Bull Riders buck into SaskTel Center with 2 huge shows October 24th and 25th with the Saskatoon Classic. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.ca.
Here they are, the Cowboys of the PBR!
October is Customer Appreciation Month at Extreme Hockey and Umbrella Marketing. It's pretty easy. Just submit your receipt for your corporate or team apparel order, and you could be one of the lucky winners at month end to receive up to $1,000 back towards your purchase. Locally owned, community-oriented, and customer-focused. And of course, don't forget about their price match guarantee. Extreme Hockey and Sport, Umbrella Marketing, 1425 McIntyre Street, and conveniently located in the Cooperator Center.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 5050 is presented by ISC.
More power, more output, more comfort. The Fendt Ideal Combine is ready to roll on your farm. The most innovative and modern combine on the market, the Fendt Ideal Combine has exceptional efficiency backed by the industry's best warranty. An unbelievably comfortable cab. The Fendt Ideal Combine is ahead of the game and the best in the game. The Fendt Ideal Combine is ready to roll on your farm. See for yourself at Nick's Service in Emerald Park. nicksservice.com.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Can I help you? Name's Terry Touchdown, sent by Western Pizza. I'm here to deliver the Saskatchewan Roughriders sweet deal. A large 3-topping pizza, 4 sticks of Greek souvlaki, a large Caesar salad, and a liter of soda. All for just $48.95 plus tax. And you're entered to win luxury suite tickets to watch the Riders, like a VIP.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
The Sportscage Clutch Performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Call 781-1077.
If you missed this in the sporting world of our province this weekend, throw it up, Colson, if you're watching the stream. The Regina Thunder shattered a Canadian Junior Football League rushing record with 632 yards gained as they smashed the Edmonton Wildcats 56-3. It was wet, it was windy, it was ugly. Peter Borsch, the beat man, he had 210 yards. Carter Ashman had 205. A bunch of other guys chipped in. Jackson Harnett had a pair of touchdown runs. Look at this. 632. That, hey, we can say we knew where we were when they set the record. Something else, Mass. And did you see the conditions? Like it looked like running game will be key today. But who thinks you're going to go for 632 and smash a record?
Something like that, to me, is crazy enough to end up on Chris Berman's fastest 3 minutes in sports, like on Monday Night Football. In Regina, Saskatchewan, the Regina Thunder rushed for 632 yards. So if you're one of the receivers from the Regina Thunder, you're just standing there with your hands on your hips like, no, really? Nothing? Again? No? All right.
So now,
another one?
Now they host the Edmonton Huskies, the Edmonton team.
Oh.
They have to pay bus rental and come down here Sunday to probably get smashed.
Exactly. Can we just have, listen, guys, let's just call this one early. We're just going to stay home. Just go on, have fun against the Hilltops in the final.
What? Winnipeg beat the Hilltops once this year, but also, and now they got home field advantage. So Leibel Field, or will they play it at Mosaic? Leibel? Yeah, because that's where they played the Okanagan last year. That Okanagan team is good. They rolled in there. But anyway, clutch performer for Nick Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer. Call 781-1077. Talk to the fine folks at Nick's Service. 632. Now you have one.
Well, I'm just going to say clutch performer being meta and the algorithm for not only my Facebook and Instagram feed. I don't know how many times I've seen that Tyler Myers sticking Connor McDavid in the crotch video again and again and again and again and again. It's like everywhere. And he got fined $2,500 for, they're calling that a spear. That was not necessarily a spear, but to the pride and joy of the National Hockey League. Oilers at MSG tonight to take on the Rangers.
Colson?
I got two, both family related, because there's a new Mr. and Mrs. Schultz as of Saturday. So shout out to Tim
Colson,
and Riley.
I was going to say you're looking a little more cleaned up. I'm assuming you got a little haircut and a beard trim for the wedding, because your wife probably told you need a haircut and a beard trim for this wedding, because we're not going with you looking like that.
Sure. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, they got married on Saturday. I think they're heading to Vancouver on Wednesday for the honeymoon. So, yeah, clutch performance there. And then the other one goes to Isaac, my brother, who turned 16 today and 2 points off on his test, got his driver's license today.
Oh.
And to complete the trifecta, got a cell phone. All today.
All today?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Nice.
Talk about...
He's balling.
Does he have a vehicle? Or is he going to have to use the parents for a bit?
Use the parents. Actually, he took our grandma's vehicle for the driver's test, too.
Did he text and drive yet? Because that's a no-no.
He hasn't. No.
He probably doesn't even know that. That's why. Maybe it's a good thing that he's getting his license so late. Right on. Those are good clutch performers. Isaac, and then what's your brother's name?
Tim and Riley, the newlyweds.
Tim and Riley, the newlyweds. Yeah, and you got a little trim. Your wife was like, you ain't going to the wedding looking like Ted Kaczynski. Get your hair cut and beard trimmed, buddy. I knew you'd like that one.
Did Colson have any responsibility in the wedding, or was he just a spectator? Like, was he part of the wedding party?
Oh, I was in the wedding party. I was in the wedding party.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Yes, no, I was involved.
Good.
And believe it or not, you are not the first person to compare me to Mr. Ted.
Yeah.
In looks.
Kate, clutch performer. We got Eric Francis coming up. We're talking hockey.
Oh, yeah.
Thursdays, we have our SJHL report brought to you by Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, GP Financial Services, and Aviso Wealth, locally owned with a team of financial specialists. How about, this could have went into the clutch performer, but it's SJHL report. Humboldt's Charlie Tritt, guess whose nephew?
Travis.
Just kidding. Was noted. He recorded his third shutout of the season in just 8 appearances. He's doing it for the Humboldt Broncos. I knew. If I would have said it, you would have rolled your eyes, but I threw it out there, and it's like, yeah. We talk about Travis often on this. So, yeah, SJHL report's coming up Thursday. It is for Chad Reach. Employer plans might not be right for you. Get a second opinion. Call Chad Reach. Okay, we're coming back. It's our first installment. NHL insider Eric Francis is going to be with us. Sportscage streaming at sportscage.com.
October is Customer Appreciation Month at Extreme Hockey and Umbrella Marketing. It's pretty easy. Just submit your receipt for your corporate or team apparel order, and you could be one of the lucky winners at month end to receive up to $1,000 back towards your purchase. Locally owned, community-oriented, and customer-focused. And of course, don't forget about their price match guarantee. Extreme Hockey and Sport, Umbrella Marketing, 1425 McIntyre Street, and conveniently located in the Cooperator Center.
Canada's Conservatives have put forward a bill that will unlock our nation's true potential by rewarding those who build and invest in Canada. The Canadian Sovereignty Act introduces measures such as the Canada First Reinvestment Tax Cut to eliminate capital gains tax on reinvestments in Canada, ensuring that money stays here and builds our great economy. My name is Warren Steinley, your Conservative Member of Parliament for Regina Luban, and I will always be on Saskatchewan's side.
Paid ad by Warren Steinley.
In an ideal world, you're already driving one. When you're behind the commands of the Fendt Ideal Combine, you experience a workhorse that takes harvest to task. Real-time monitoring, 485 bushel grain tank that unloads at 6 bushels per second, all backed by a 3-year full machine warranty, plus all scheduled maintenance ensures your harvest doesn't stop. Now that's how you grow bold. See the Ideal Fendt Combine at Nick's Service in Emerald Park. nickservice.com.
What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Len had questions, he talked to Brian Gawley.
Brian and I sat down, spent quite a bit of time with me initially, and explained to me how he does things, how his business works, and I was pretty impressed. So ever since then, I've moved everything over, and I've been really happy with him.
You don't have to plan your financial future alone. Call Brian Gawley of Smart Investing Solutions, 306-546-2533.
I would recommend him to anyone.
When it comes to your financial future, do you know where you're headed or what happens when you retire? That's where Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, and the team at GP Financial Services and Oviso Wealth come in. They offer independent, local advice, smart client-focused planning for every stage of life. Visit gpfinancial.ca. Your family, your plan. With Chad Reach, 306-584-2755.
Mutual funds and other securities are offered through Oviso Wealth, a division of Oviso Financial Inc.
The best bulls on the planet are coming for the bulls and their riders. Those 8 seconds go by in a heartbeat. 8 seconds to become a champion or nothing. This is Canada, and this is the PBR. The professional bull riders buck into SaskTel Center with 2 huge shows October 24th and 25th with the Saskatoon Classic. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.ca.
Here they are, the Cowboys of the PBR!
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 5050 is presented by ISC.
If it's happening in sports in Saskatchewan, we've got it covered on Sportscage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. On your radio at 620 CKRM and online at sportscage.com.
Prairie Land Rentals text line, Maz. Cole Frank, one of our listeners from North Dakota, says he's got his tickets to the West Division Final. Better not show a bunch of, better not snow a bunch and wreck my plans. It might. Be prepared, Cole. And you live in North Dakota, so the weather's the same. It's not like you're coming up from Tallahassee. Pick the score. Lots of people pick the score. That's a tough one. Because if the Riders are resting guys, and it's already...
Winnipeg's must win.
Winnipeg
This
is
is
must win
for Winnipeg.
Roscoe's getting in saying can't beat smoked chicken thighs. I concur. My wife's been cooking chicken thighs lately. It's just they're just more moist. They're good. Isn't that technically white meat though? I think a thigh is technically a white meat. Roscoe. And there's a bunch of people trying to go in. And people are knocking me because cabbage rolls with tomato soup. I'm like, yeah, that is like what they pour on. The Ukrainian, like the red sauce, cabbage roll, sour cabbage. Take a seat. All right. We don't have the intro yet, but this is our first installment of the year. It's brought to you by Sports Select and sportselect.com. So you can simply make your picks online, generate a QR code, and lock in your bet at your local lotto spot retailer. Everything is 100% illegal. Chance to winning cash in hand. Sports Select must be 18 plus to play. We'll talk a lot of games of chance and betting with this guy as we go. But he's joining us. Here he is. Eric Francis is back with us. Cabbage
No
rolls?
intro.
No, not yet.
No intro, nothing.
I just read one. I thought I did a pretty good job there.
No. Last year there were drum. There's a drum roll and there was music.
Oh,
and it just it made me feel really special. And this, I don't know, it didn't make me feel that special this time.
Okay, what's
Eric,
your cabbage roll? What's your cabbage roll take? What's your cabbage roll take? What kind of cabbage rolls do you like?
Oh my God, that's a tough. Like I love cabbage rolls.
That's not a good start.
No, and the tomato sauce. It's like that. I love a cabbage roll. It's underrated. Hey, look, I know in Saskatchewan it's not underrated, but here in Calgary, I find the cabbage roll is underrated. Like I'm not sure my kids have ever had a cabbage roll. Put it that way. Like
tough sell.
That's a real specialty.
It's a tough sell to kids to be like, hey, I want you to eat this rice and sausage rolled up in a piece of cabbage with some tomato soup. It just sounds gross when you say it, but when you eat it and your baba makes it and it's cooked and you get the little crispy parts at the bottom, it's unreal.
Your baba, I love it. I don't have a baba, but I have friends with babas, and whenever I have a chance to eat one of their cabbage rolls, I delight in it. So you asked me my take on cabbage rolls, like. Don't ever try to bring. If anyone ever brought like a harsh take on cabbage rolls, we can't be friends. That's the way I look at it.
Okay, what we have about 8 minutes today, and we're going to talk Flames, Oilers, and Canucks. But do you want to tell Maz the story about us having beers on Friday night and the anniversary? You're a big anniversary guy. You were going through all your anniversaries.
Dude, that was brilliant. Okay, I've never seen that happen before in my life. Barney and I are having a beverage. We're having a great conversation. Everything's good. And then he out of nowhere, he goes, oh, my God, is it my anniversary? Like out of nowhere, boom, is it my anniversary? And he figured the only way to find out, he went through his son, no answer, and he felt like he needed to know. He just sent a text to his wife and it said, is it our anniversary? Like that's bold, man. Just to ask her straight up, am I missing something? And she just wrote back, they have a good marriage because she just wrote back, LOL, no, the 12th or something, a couple days later. So he was off the hook. Nice move, bro.
Because he's going through all the
Barney
anniversaries.
In a nutshell. That's Barney in a nutshell. Right there.
Yeah, you don't write that stuff down in your phone. Like my wife just so happened that day, I was telling Barney, like, today's the 15th anniversary of the day I started at Hockey Night in Canada. Like, that's dumb. That's a dumb thing to tell people, and it's a dumb thing to write in your phone. And my wife tells me that every year when I say, hey, it's the 14th or 15th year since I started Hockey Night in Canada. She thinks that's ridiculous. But I'm going to tell you, in a case like your anniversary, you may want to think about
it. There's so we can continue going on that. That's the story that'll keep giving. Okay, break it down. This year we got Vegas in Calgary tonight. Let's start with this because
Vegas Mitch.
Yeah, when we were talking
Vegas Mitch
about this the other day, explain to our people. I had no idea how small Dustin Wolf actually is.
Yeah, when I was telling you, so they have him listed now at 166 pounds. And you know how the NHL or all sports works. They bloat these things somewhat. I don't know what percentage they add to it, but I've always understood him to be 155 pounds. I remember asking him in training camp last year if he put on any weight. He goes, oh, God, I gave up on that years ago. Like, I've worked with trainers, nutritionists, and I can't put on weight. So I'm $155, and that's what it is. Like that, people talk about Dustin Wolf, and around the league, they refer to him as being a small goaltender, and they're only referring to the fact that they think he's a shade under 6 feet tall, which is short amongst NHL goalies. But 155 to 166 pounds, wherever the truth lies there, that's a significant, like that's Johnny Gaudreau size. That's in a land of giants, you're just a little mighty mite. And that's what I worry about when they talk about, durability and Dustin Wolf and can he start 60, 65 games this year? The durability when you're only that big, I just wonder, it just takes one crease crasher and that could be trouble for a small guy like that.
Vegas rolls in town tonight. Mitch Marner's now a Vegas Golden Knight. But is Noah Hannafin not playing for the Knights? Is he hurt? What's his situation?
Good question. Now that you mention it, I didn't see him down at the rink, and so he must be out. You know what? I forgot that he was a Golden Knight. I was at the morning skate today, and I was so fixated on Mitch Marner. I know. Isn't that crazy? Noah Hannafin, I like him a lot. Like, I get along great with him. He's one of those guys you reach out to every once in a while. How you doing? I guess I forgot to reach out today and see how he was doing. So, yeah, you're right. I didn't see him in the morning skate, so he is probably out. Mitch Marner is in the lineup, and shockingly wasn't made available to the media today. I guess once you're in a Canadian market like Toronto, you remember what it's like to face all the Canadian media, and he was shockingly absent after his skate. He disappeared right after his skate today. So didn't get a chance to ask Mitch about his old neighborhood or anything like that.
What are the real expectations in Calgary this year for the Flames?
Same as they've been for the 31 years I've covered the team. Barely make the playoffs and see if he can do some damage in the playoffs. Like I'm not. It's not even a criticism. It's just a fact. It's the way it is in Calgary. Like they think that they can find a way to score a few more goals than they did last year, and break that tie that they were in last year for the last playoff spot. Like they were fourth lowest scoring team in the league last year. And their whole goal is to try and figure out ways to, with the exact same lineup, find more goals. So that's exactly where the Calgary Flames are at right now, and it's going to be touch and go all year as to whether or not they can do it.
Eric, I thought it was very fitting for Flames fans. The very first game of the season, it was like their Stanley Cup. They beat the Oilers in a crazy fashion in a shootout. And I'm like, if this is the peak, it's going to be a long 81 other games for Flames fans, because there were people online celebrating like they had just won Lord Stanley's mug. And this was the start of it all. And watch out, here we come.
Well, to do it in the comeback fashion they did, down 3 goals in the first period, like that, or after 2 periods, whatever it was, and win 4-3 in a shootout, like that's reason to celebrate. You just beat the team that went to the final 2 years in a row, and it happens to be your division and lifelong rival. Like, I get it. Be happy, celebrate it. But things haven't gone so well for them after those 2 games. They've lost their last 2 games, but funny, Ryan Husker was saying today he thought that the game their worst game of the 3 was the Oiler game. The one game they won. They thought their better games were the 2 that they lost. So, look, that's the fate of the Calgary Flames forever and ever, amen. Like, they're always just going to be, hard to peg, but still right in the mix. When you think they're dead, they will rise. When you think they're going to rise, they will fall. It's the plight of the Calgary Flames fan. It really is.
What do we got? 2.5 minutes here, so we might have to shelf Vancouver for another time. But what are you most curious to watch up the road with the Oilers this year?
The goaltending situation. Like, what are they going to do? I mean, are they going to come up with a creative way to find another goalie this year, or are they going to roll the dice one more year on him? Or over the next little while, they're out east for I think 5 in a row. Are they going to start playing Calvin Pickard a lot? Just make that pivot right now and see if that makes better sense for them. So the goaltending is a big thing for them. It's the only thing people from afar really worry about. And then the other one's Mangiapane, former Calgary Flame. He's going to play tonight with Draisaitl and McDavid. Wow, when you're a free agent and you sign with a team and they say, yeah, you'll get a chance to play with Draisaitl or McDavid at times, you never factor in the fact that you might be playing with both. What a lottery winner for him. And, he's had a good couple of games so far. And, man, if that worked out for him, I'd be thrilled for the guy because he's one of the good ones, that's for sure.
Rangers tonight for the Oilers. Tyler Myers fined $2,500 for lifting the crotch of Connor McDavid the other night. Once again, Canucks social media. Eric, if there's one thing you told us last year, don't ever wade in on Canucks social media. Not a place anybody ever needs to be. So you just watch from afar and go, Tyler, you chuckle a little bit.
Yeah. They're lovely people out there on the other side of the mountains. I think the world of them. And I would never say anything bad about the mob in Vancouver, that's for sure. But that is a funny one, isn't it? I mean, did anyone in the world think that Myers was going to get away with lifting the crotch of Captain Canada? Or I know he's not Captain Canada, but the great player of our time. Nobody could have ever thought that was going to happen, right?
Okay. How about, can you give us 40 seconds? What do you think of that Lane Hudson deal?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying he left a lot of money on the table, and I just got to say, look, this guy's trending to be maybe the third best defenseman in the NHL. I know it's 1 year, but the numbers he put up were so ridiculous for a first-year player. Leaving money on the table is not something that a guy signing his first-year deal should worry about, and nor did he. At the end of the day, he's getting $70 million. When a guy's signing his first contract, his entry-level, coming out of his entry-level deal, you take the money. When you're dealing with your second contract and you're Jack Eichel or all these other guys, Mitch Marner guys get signing their second or third deal, then it's about maximizing the dollar figure. But that first deal, like Dustin Wolf, like Lane Hudson, like so many guys coming out of their entry-level deal, if someone's offering you money that will alter your family's course for the next 7 generations, you take it and you worry about the $1 million or $2 million you left on the table later. It's not something anyone is thinking about. So good on Lane Hudson for taking an incredible deal, and he'll get paid more next time around, I promise.
Okay, you guys can regroup tomorrow and talk Vancouver Canucks. That's all we got for today. Go and find a cabbage roll and feed your kid a cabbage roll tonight.
Get me an introduction. That was so weak. It really hurt me. Very offensive.
Well, we have a heavy metal band that's going to do one this year for you.
Oh,
they're on tour currently.
Okay, well, when they get back, make sure they get to it. That'd be great.
Eric Francis, our NHL insider. It's for Sports Select. Get in on the Sports Select. Don't forget, now you can generate a QR code, pick everything up on your phone or online, take it into your Lotto Spot retailer. They scan it, boom, there you go. We'll talk about Sprinkle of the Day in hour 3. There's a couple of bets I was thinking about today. There's a couple bad ones from this weekend, Maz, that I'll fill you in on. It's a Sportscage on the home of sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
Rider Nation lives on 620 CKRM. I'm Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Friday is game day as the Riders take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Countdown to kickoff with Justin Dunk and Tegan Whitkos at 3. The pregame show's at 5. And kickoff with Luke Mullender and I is at 6. Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network is brought to you by Proline Gold Fungicide, Redhead Equipment, Sask Lotteries, and Nelson Homes. Stream every moment of Rider football at sportscage.com.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, do you want the next generation to know and care more about agriculture? Donate to the Acres for Education campaign by Agriculture in the Classroom Saskatchewan to help get students out of the classroom to experience agriculture. This year, every dollar donated will be matched up to $25,000 thanks to JGL, so your gift will make twice the difference. Donate at aitc.sk.ca/Acres for Education.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50/50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50/50 is presented by ISC.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
All the farmland and equipment you could need are available at auction this fall with Ritchie Brothers. A wide variety of farmland auctions across Western Canada will begin in earnest in October and run into December to get you ready for the next season. With new parcels of land and equipment continually added to their inventory, make sure to visit their website so you never miss an opportunity. Head over to rbauction.com to get started. Again, that's rbauction.com.
Have you ever tried convincing a 1,000-pound animal to walk half a mile for a drink? Yeah, good luck with that. Cows aren't moving, and frankly, they don't care about your schedule. So instead of turning your pasture into a full-blown cattle negotiation summit, install a Keln solar livestock watering system. You can drop a pump just about anywhere. No grid, no trenching, no drama. So let the cows chill. You move the water. Keln Solar. They move water because your cows won't. Visit kelnsolar.com.
SEIU West members are
phlebotomist, food service worker, security officer, plumber,
continuing care assistant,
porter, licensed practical nurse, medical device reprocessing worker, purchasing agent,
environmental services worker,
social services worker, cook, health information management practitioner, switchboard operator,
distribution worker.
The backbone of your public health care system. Learn more at seiuwest.ca.
Get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
Meet Todd. It's noon. He's really hungry, and his stomach makes sure to let him know it.
Todd, we talked about this. No more skipping meals. I need cheese. I need crust. I need Western Pizza.
All right. Western Pizza it is. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today before your stomach starts making demands.
And get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
The 620 CKRM Country Corner is brought to you by Glasses TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer, and Foster's Audio Video in Carlisle. Get the newest cell phone today with an amazing SaskTel rate plan.
See the latest in wedding fashions and trends at the most incredible bridal show this Sunday, October 19th, noon to 4 at the Connexus Arts Center. Over 100 wedding experts on hand and nearly $40,000 in prizes up for grabs. More details at mostIncredibleBridalShow.com. Last call to get your tickets to see Darius Rucker live at the Brand Center Monday, October 20th, playing all the hits from All Right to Wagon Wheel. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca. And 620 CKRM is proud to support Agriculture in the Classrooms, Acres for Education. Funds raised through the campaign will help students and teachers experience agriculture firsthand through field trips to farms and ag events. Every dollar donated this year will be matched by JGL up to $25,000. Check out AITC.sk.ca.
For more information, visit 620ckrm.com. It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sports, Regina's locally owned one-stop hockey shop. Now with a price match guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street.
You missed it. The Saskatchewan Roughriders announcing General Manager Jeremy O'Day and head coach Corey Mace have each signed 2-year contract extensions. They'll be here till after the 2028 season. Soccer friendly tonight, Canada-Colombia in New Jersey. Canada lost to Australia Friday 1-0. SJHL, Nipawin hosts Flin Flon, Kindersley's in Weyburn, Warman's in La Ronge. Prairie Junior Hockey League regular season, Moosomin, the Steelhawks, are in Fort Knox. NHL, Canadians welcome Seattle. Nashville's in Toronto. New York takes on Edmonton. And Calgary hosts Vegas. Major League Baseball, one game. Dodgers trying to go 2-up on Milwaukee, 6 p.m. first pitch. Sportscage.com poll. Will Bo Bichette play another game with the Toronto Blue Jays? You can vote at sportscage.com. In hour 2, it's for Extreme Hockey and Sport, home of the price match guarantee. And this month, you can win $1,000 back on any purchase from Umbrella Marketing or Extreme Hockey and Sport. Hour 3, we're going to have Glen Suitor, Pump Jacks Cathedral Trivia, playing for $150 today. And we're going to hear more from Coach Mace and Jeremy O'Day. It's Sports Cage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
This is 620 CKRM Regina, the voice of Saskatchewan, a Harvard media station. Streaming everywhere at 620ckrm.com.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the sasktoday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM News for Echo Sound at Fort Qu'Appelle. Stay connected with the new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. Fire crews in Regina battled a large blaze last night at a housing complex under construction on Victoria Avenue. The fire started at around 9 p.m., spreading heat and smoke to nearby homes before being extinguished at around midnight. No one was hurt. Residents say the site had no electricity, and many are questioning how the fire started. Power lines were damaged in the area, and officials are investigating. Gas prices in Regina averaged $1.27.6 per litre on Sunday, down 5.7 cents in a week, according to Gas Buddy. That's nearly 20 cents lower than a year ago and almost 10 cents below last month. Nationally, prices fell 1.6 cents to $1.31.58. Gas Buddy says easing oil prices and lower demand should continue pushing fuel prices down across most provinces this fall. A Cree filmmaker from Montreal Lake is being recognized for blending business and creativity. His new award will help him build a company focused on empowering Indigenous storytellers and sharing their voices. For more, here's Sask Today's John Cairns.
B. Bird, originally from Montreal Lake Cree Nation, was one of the winning recipients of the RBC Rock My Business Emerging Indigenous Entrepreneur Award. It comes with a $10,000 prize, which Bird will use to build his media business, Bird Productions, focusing on Indigenous storytelling. For Bird, it's not about the money. He says it's all about the connections and the people.
The money will come, and it's always going to be there. It's always going to be circulating. We are always have to take care of one another, though, and tell each other stories. And that's why I opened this business, was to tell Indigenous stories and raise Indigenous voices.
Bird is encouraging those Indigenous people looking to start their own business to just believe in their vision, even when a journey feels challenging. For SAS Today, I'm John Cairns.
BC Premier David Eby is calling on Ottawa to restate its support for the federal tanker ban off BC's northern coast. Eby's appeal comes after Prime Minister Mark Carney has not ruled out lifting the ban.
The oil tanker ban off the coast is the social license with First Nations along the coast to be able to do significant economic development in the region. If that tanker ban goes away, then all of these projects are put at jeopardy, and it is not a small amount of money.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith has been calling for a repeal of the ban as part of a pipeline from northern Alberta to the BC coast. And residents of Denair Beach are moving into temporary homes provided through the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency's Recovery Task Team. The community now has 26 housing units, with 5 more arriving soon. Denair Beach Council says the housing offers safety and stability through the winter, while cleanup and recovery continue. Minister Tim McLeod praised the community's resilience, calling the milestone a reason to celebrate. The government has committed $30 million over 3 years toward wildfire recovery efforts. That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Weather is next.
This back-to-school season, don't be prehistoric.
Mom, my phone is basically a fossil.
Sweetie, your phone's older than a T-Rex.
Time to evolve at Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
They have new phones, back-to-school deals, internet and Max TV stream, and no extinct data plans.
In 2025, there's no excuse to roam with a Jurassic phone. Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Qu'Appelle. EchoSound.ca.
Brought to you by Line X Regina, Serious Protection Killer Lux, 1865 McCarra Street. Matt's Furniture. Visit mattsfurniture.ca.
Slightly drier air continues to build into the region tonight. Our next approaching weak weather maker will bring some shower activity tomorrow night into Thursday, and we may even see a few showers spilling over into Friday before skies start to clear again for the weekend. Temperatures will remain close to seasonable values, at least during the daylight hours. It's a partly cloudy sky tonight, lows near -1. Southeast winds at 15 to 25. Chance of precipitation 20%. Partly sunny skies tomorrow. Thicker clouds late in the day with a high near 10. Southeast winds at 15 to 25. Chance of precipitation 20%. Clouding up with developing showers Wednesday night. Lows near 3 degrees. Southeast winds at 15 to 25. Chance of rain increases to 80%. Cloudy with a 50% chance of showers Thursday. High temperatures near 11. Isolated showers as we look forward to Friday with a high temperature near 10 degrees. It'll be sunny, 11 degrees on Saturday. With your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast, I'm meteorologist Russ Murley.
He's at it again. Matt's sharpening his pencil to save you money at Matt's Furniture. Now till November 5th, save big on the quality and power you know and love from Maytag and Whirlpool. Get a Maytag 5.5 cubic foot Pet Pro top load washer with 7 cubic foot top load dryer for just $16.99. Or get the Whirlpool 5.5 cubic foot IEC top load washer with removable agitator and 7 cubic foot dryer for just $14.99. Matt's Furniture at Fort Capel, Kamsack, Melville, and Foam Lake, or online at mattsfurniture.ca.
For 40 years, the team from Linex Regina has been protecting vehicles across Saskatchewan, and we're changing with the times. 3 generations of our family have protected your vehicles. Our business has evolved, and we're not stopping now. The next generation is here. Same family, same commitment, ready for the next generation of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards in all kinds of colors. Linex Regina, 1865 McCarra Street, the next generation of protective coatings.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Sask Lotteries, bringing communities together. Sask Lottery products fund over 12,000 sports, culture, and recreation groups across Saskatchewan. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back, Sports Cage for Saskatchewan Lotteries. Maz is with me. Colson's in the pocket. We're playing Sastel Pick the Score for another hour. Well, less than an hour. You got about 52 minutes. 936-6262. Also, let us know your take on the Jeremy O'Day, Corey Mace extensions from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Yes, you can let us know about cabbage rolls like David does. David says, how about buckwheat and bacon cabbage rolls? David from Yorkton. David, come on, man. Keep that stuff in your house.
Exactly. My dad, there's 2 things my dad loved, which were not appetizing. Buckwheat cabbage rolls and raisin pie.
Oh.
No, and raisin pie. Gross. On all levels, not a chance.
My dad and brother and brother-in-law who married into the family, and I did it when I was a kid too. Head cheese, studenettes, and Mom used to like boil the pork feet or whatever and make it from scratch. Yeah. And I would have to hide when I got to high school, I'd have to hide all my jackets and all my clothes way far away from the kitchen because I would just smell like a big studenettes pot for a month at high school.
Head cheese was gross, never ate it, just the look of it. And then also at Grandma's house, Baba's house, canned chicken. Basically a raw chicken in a jar. No. So when I tell my wife these horror stories, I'm 8 years older than my wife, and she grew up fancy. Like she grew up fancy. Like parents with degrees and stuff, fancy. And she just looks at me like I came from another country. That this wasn't happening in Saskatchewan. I'm like, no, it was.
Oh, canned chicken. So many gross things. Who is this? Rob messaged in. Nice to hear Eric's voice back on the cage. Was wondering if he'd be back. Always entertaining segment. Eric Francis is back. You got it. And then, okay, Roscoe's Roscoe's kind of our, like, cook connoisseur. What's he saying here? Can I read this online, Colson? You got. I have to agree strongly. Cabbage rolls with tomato soup is the best. Roscoe. Thanks, Roscoe. Now, David, we're not saying, and you're from Yorkton. I love it, right? Daiboja. Buckwheat and bacon cabbage rolls. That was like back in the day. There was nothing else in the pantry or the cool room. If you had a cool room, you were a baller. And your Baba or Guido or whatever said, just make that buckwheat and bacon and roll it up in a cabbage. They'll eat it. And then, come on. Nah.
Best part about Grandma's house, she always had a stack of $2 bills in the cupboard right next to the Chiclets gum.
Chiclets gum. My doctor used to have those. And Baba's house in Waka, you always knew popcorn, and we were playing Kingo Bingo. Anyone up north will remember that. It's like Access bingo that they have on the access station. Anywho, it's 936-6262. There's more coming in from Cabbage Rolls here. Found something. Mason O'Day, re-upping through 2028. Solid move, we thought here. Agreed. You're never going to please everybody, like anything in life. And if you are, if everyone likes you, if you're pleased, then you're doing something wrong. So not everyone's going to be pleased about this, but what this is a solid move, reward good employees, yada. Craig Reynolds talked about getting the deal done now.
Yeah, I think, obviously the leadership they've shown has, and the culture change that's sort of happened here and the success that they've seen. And I think, stability and continuity in pro sports is really, really important. And so love going to work with both those guys. I know they've had tremendous success so far, and just excited we were able to get this done.
And then this is a question, Maz, that there's a few questions on this. It's like timing. Okay, get it. Awesome. Nothing going wrong. But the other one, and he answers this, is did the extensions come together quickly?
So we started conversations, I think it was late August, just around this possibility. And Jeremy and I have a great working relationship, and Jeremy and Corey have a great working relationship. So it kind of came together quite easily and quite quickly. And they both wanted to be here. We wanted them both to be here. And so it was just, came together quite quickly.
Yeah.
For O'Day, because keep in mind, he started as a player. That's going to be like around 30-ish years by time the deal is done. That's 3 decades of Jeremy O'Day in Saskatchewan Roughrider football.
Colson's got a clip on this where, what does he talk about, Colson? Dave Thomas asked him that question.
It's a long time to be with an organization, and got to experience it when things are tough. You obviously you find out a lot of things about yourself when you go through challenging times, and about people, and it just motivates you to do better and to try to turn it around. You know how important that winning Grey Cups is for this province, for the people of Saskatchewan, and then it's important for my family as well.
You can feel the emotion in that voice, right there.
Yeah, he gets it. A lot of stops along the way, like Reynolds mentioned, pro sports. You're a name, you're a number, you're a transaction, you're in, you're out. This is different. Like you are, if you're part of the fabric, you're doing it well. If you're come and gone, then you didn't get what being part of Rider Nation is all about.
O'Day we talked about this in hour one. Canadian talent, 17 of his draft selections are currently on the Rough Rider roster. 17. We'll talk to Glen Suitor about that coming up. Don't forget, if you're tuning in right now, stay with us. 936-6262. After we're done with Glen, it's Pump Jacks Cathedral trivia time. A chance to win $150. Pump Jacks Cathedral on Albert and 13. Let's get into Glen.
Time now for press coverage with CFL and Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Glen Suitor on the Sportscage. Brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
Big news, Glenn. Before we get to your choice of cabbage roll, what should fans really take from this sign? If you have the floor here to talk to the Rider faithful, what should they take from this?
Well, you've witnessed from afar or in the stands a team that really respects each other, that they play for each other in the locker room. So they've created the culture, and that decision from Jeremy O'Day to hire Corey Mace, that was the decision that earned him this next contract. Corey Mace's work in empowering the players to take ownership and making sure it's the right players in the room. And if there is a guy in the room that isn't one of those guys that are going to become a team first guy, then you've got to make a move and get rid of him. You don't have to make it public as to why, but you got to get them out of the room. And it doesn't mean that everyone loves each other and sings Kumbaya, but they have to respect each other and play for each other. That culture is built with Corey Mace. Corey Mace was hired by Jeremy, who, and I'll give him full credit for this, and I think the fans there should too, that he went through some tough times and could have started blaming people, trying to blame guys or kick them as they went out the door, and didn't do that. Stayed professional, stayed on top of the Canadian draft, making sure he was bringing in great Canadian players. I mean, look at their receiving core in the Canadian content. It's outstanding. So he maintained a steady hand when the ship was rocking a little bit. And now they're reaping the benefits. And I think, hey, congratulations to both of them. They've earned it. They deserve it. And Corey Mace, I can tell you from a TV perspective and dealing with him whenever we cover a Rider game, utmost professional, very transparent, and with great respect for the work that we are trying to do to present the game. And trying to understand that. So I can see why, the players have built that culture in the room based on his leadership. And, that's what I would tell fans. That's what I see from working with Coach Mace, with Jeremy O'Day. I see him every year at the Dogs Breakfast. They come up to be part of that. And, I think this is a great hire. It's great timing. Gets all of that off the table. These are the guys. This is the administration. This is the coaching staff. And now, and I heard you guys talk about it earlier, what about Mark Mueller?
Yeah. Well, Glenn, I had said as a Rider fan, because what J.O. has brought, because there's been other coaches and there's stability. All we have to worry about now as fans is winning and losing, because more than anybody, over the past 4 decades, the roller coaster of emotion that it is being a Rider fan, from selling grain to raffle tickets to lotteries to you name it, just to keep the lights on, to finally, we just got to worry about winning and losing, which is kind of nice. And then we start to complain about when we don't win by enough. That's for me. And the other thing, if you're not extending them, who else is doing a better job at the moment than these two? Like the Mace for being a second-year head coach, and hopefully we're going to get to where we want to go here in a few weeks. And then O'Day with what he's done and the scouting. Like A.J. Allen, that was a 2020 draft pick. That wasn't in the past year. That was a 5-year ago decision that's paying off today. So it's good. We just get to worry about football. All of the other stuff is really background. And as a fan, it's just kind of nice. All right, good. Keep making smart moves.
Gentlemen, is there a lot of text messaging coming in that don't like this decision?
Not today, but there will be some. There will be, for sure. You know what it's like, Glenn.
Yeah, well, I guess. But honestly, first in the division in his second year as a head coach, that's a no-brainer. And let's compare it to a Ryan Dinwiddie when he was a brand new head coach in Toronto. And this year you don't panic in Toronto and fire Ryan Dinwiddie, because you look at why their season went the way it did. What are the main reasons, and the most important being that he didn't have a starting quarterback for the entire season. So, you go back and have to assess, when you're looking at your head coaching position, you have to assess what are the circumstances. It's like a coach's decision to pull a quarterback. If it's not the quarterback's fault that the team is behind on the scoreboard, then why are you pulling him? Leave him in there and let him work through it. And especially if he's your veteran, don't pull him out unless he's not seeing it, like a pitcher that is not hitting the plate. And finally, you got to make a decision there. So I honestly, this is a great decision, and I love the way Jeremy O'Day, where he navigated the rough waters. I think that tells you a lot about who you are when things aren't going well. Are you remaining professional? And he certainly did that.
Suits, you guys covered, you did the game in Montreal, or the Ottawa Red Blacks. Now, remember, Rider fans, for anybody that may be, oh no, the Ottawa Red Blacks, the two serious candidates for head coach were Bob Dice and Corey Mace. They hire Bob Dice. We end up getting Corey Mace. And you know what? All day long, as a Rider fan, we're very happy, but he easily could have been the head coach of the Ottawa Red Blacks had a different decision been made, and I think the trajectory of their team would be completely different. I'm just saying that, knowing what we know about Corey now and having seen him for the past couple of years. So this wasn't just a Mace no, there was other people looking at him. The pedigree he came from Toronto and those Grey Cups and that defense and all that. He was a sought-after commodity as a coaching prospect.
Yeah, he was. And there were a lot of other coaches or potential head coaches that were interviewed at the time that the Riders talked to. And let's remember that Corey was one of those guys that sat in the interview room and said, I want this job. This job is a special, like he understood the whole Rider Nation concept when he was sitting interviewing for it. And that was a big reason that both Jeremy and Craig, I'm sure, thought this is our guy, and to be able to sit in those meetings. I mean, I'm sure every coach has asked very similar questions, and I bet you none of them just stood up and said, I want this, put your own word in there, job more than anybody, and I want it. So let's go. And, I think this is great. It's great. It's good timing. Heading into the playoffs. Well, heading into a couple of weeks until the playoffs, 2 or 3 weeks. And already I'm a big fan of his decision to rest Trevor and say it right out of the gate. We're not playing Trevor until the West Final. So I think that's a smart move.
Why do you like that?
Because, well, there's a few reasons. The first one is it takes him out of harm's way because it only takes a follow through and a thumb to hit a helmet. It doesn't have to be a catastrophic injury by any stretch, but it takes, remember Zach Collaros in the Grey Cup game, last year, he followed through and cut his finger on his passing hand, and he didn't have the same accuracy the rest of the game. I mean, it doesn't take much for something goofy like that to happen. So you've taken him out of that possibility. Secondly, you may need Jake Maier at some point to win this West Final and get you there. And maybe you need him, and knock on wood, you don't, but maybe you need him in the Cup as well. So any type of experience he can get leading into that really helps you. The other is the message. I keep hearing that coaches sometimes say, well, we want to win. That's why I played my guys. And I could tell you the example with Ottawa, like why we were still seeing Dustin Crum in the second half against Montreal. I'll never understand that. They have a chance to assess Tyree Adams as a quarterback under the real lights of a game, and they lost that opportunity. Now they still have a couple games, so they'll probably play him now. But why not then? I mean, so Jake Maier is important. Those reps are important for him. And the message from your coach when you're in these situations is not, well, we don't care about winning anymore, and that's why we're playing these guys. No, it's not about that. It's about you are on this team and on this roster because we believe we can win with you. Because if Jake Maier wasn't there and they didn't believe they could win with Jake Maier, then he wouldn't be the backup. He wouldn't be number 2. They'd have been searching all year for a number 2. So the message is the same. The message is we expect you to go win and play at the same level as the starters. That's why you're on this roster. And the rosters aren't that big. So if you're on it for a reason. And the message should just be, hey, we believe we can win with you. So let's go and keep on winning.
You're the coach. Who are the must, after Trevor Harris, can we throw AJ Ouellette in there? Who are the must sit?
Well, that a little bit of that, honestly, Barney, is going to be dependent on, what their practice roster, what their
ratios and
injured list, the ratio. There's a few things that they're going to have to juggle there. You can't sit everyone you'd like to. But I'd put it this way. Anyone that is still dealing with a bit of a muscle injury. So, if there's a bit of a hamstring on any one of the receivers that it feels a little bit tight, something like that, don't risk it. If you can rest AJ, absolutely rest AJ. If not, and you think, a guy like Mario Alford, who's been on and off because of injury, there's a guy that you rest until you need him in the playoff game. And make sure he's as healthy and has as fresh legs as he possibly can, because he breaks one in that game and it might be the difference. So yeah, I would prioritize by, if there's someone that is nicked up that you can give them another week or two, that's priority list. And if they're all healthy, well, no one's healthy at this point, but if they're all, at a good level to play, then yeah, AJ would be at the top of my list.
Glen, the best two teams in the CFL the past 5-6 weeks have been the BC Lions and the Montreal Alouettes. You did the game yesterday. Now that Montreal is healthy, what does that team look like live? Because on TV, they look pretty good in all three phases of the football game yesterday.
Yeah, that team with Davis Alexander, this is the quarterback's sort of role that is not spoken about enough, that you really need to believe in your guy. And there is such a difference the way that team played under McLeod Bethel-Thompson, even on defense and special teams, as they do when Davis Alexander's at the helm. And so I see the best that they are. And when they are playing like that, with that kind of enthusiasm and playing, following in the footsteps of Davis's leadership by example, I mean, he gets hit, his helmet gets knocked right off, which is, again, by the way, one of the reasons that you rest. If you've locked up first place, if you saw that hit on Davis Alexander when his helmet flew off on a short yardage play of all things, he's spitting out blood, and it looked like maybe a chiclet came with it, and he doesn't want to come out of the game. I'm telling you that your teammates absolutely love you when you're that kind of guy. Yeah, to answer your question, Maz, I think they're one of the top teams in the league. I mean, you can say that the Lions, I think I agree, are the hottest maybe right now, especially on offense. They're putting up some big numbers. Their defense has improved, I would say, by 20% or so in the last 3 weeks, and is now making plays. Matthew Betts has been the guy that's led that. So they're probably the hottest team. I would say Montreal, to me, is the best team in the East for sure. And I did the Hamilton game as well. That Hamilton Tiger Cat team looked like mere mortals against Calgary. They didn't look like a team that was ready to lock up first place. And maybe the fact that they had made the playoffs and thought they could just kind of show up and get the 2 points, but you can't do that, not this year especially.
What the heck is with the review? Is there just somebody up there now that's just allowed to call down whenever and just say whatever?
Too much.
Is Donald Trump involved in this at all? What's going on? It's a bit of a circus.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Yeah, it is. Honestly, I wouldn't use the word circus for me. I think their intentions are good, and their intentions come from a good place. That in rules committee meetings up to this point, I think they've kept emphasizing that we want to get the call right. The problem with that is it's not always right when it's subjective. If it's a call that adds for opinion, then that is a subjective element that one guy is going to say, yeah, it's pass interference, and the very next guy is going to say no. That doesn't get it right, does it? It just adds more opinions to the process. And this idea now that they are stopping play on a regular basis, delaying the game by upwards of 2 guys. I'm at home when I watch games back with a stopwatch on how long it's taking to administer a penalty. And we're getting up into the 2 and 3 minute area sometimes. I mean, in a live football game, that is like pausing the game for an hour. And I don't even know what the fans in the stands are thinking by then. I mean, what are they doing? Because we can at least show a replay, or we can maybe go to commercial or something on TV. But boy, it has got to be addressed in the offseason. And I've done my own surveys. I won't name guys, but I've done my own surveys. And guys, this is an opinion that goes across the country.
Glenn,
everybody feels the same way.
The perfect example was that respot in the Rider game on Friday night. Now, it worked out in our favor. We end up getting a first down. But what you're doing essentially is, by doing that, you're taking that refereeing crew on the field and the decision they made, and there was enough of them around to be like, I thought the ball carrier was stopped here. It wasn't the second effort. You're really diminishing their role in a sense. And to everybody that was applauding, yeah, we got it. Careful. Karma comes back the other way too. This may pay us back somehow, some way, when somebody, a challenge or whatever, comes forward. Like even on the weekend, they're challenging, and I hate this. I hate the 5-yard rule. They're challenging the 5-yard halo. It's slowing down the game. There are just too many reasons. There's just so many flags, and I get it. Slowing down the flow of the game to be like, man.
Yeah,
why do you even have live officials out there if you can just replay center everything?
I missed this. Take me through this. Sorry, the 5-yard fair catch, or the 5-yard on a punt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The challenge
there was
that?
Yes. Yeah, but in 2 separate games, that happened in the Rider game, and then that happened. Did that happen in the Ticat game?
Yes, yeah. And you can, look, there's, first of all, in the opinion, again, we're stating opinions here, but first of all, there's way too many things that can be challenged now.
Yeah.
Way too. Secondly, the command center or replay center is now stopping the game in real time. And the officials are standing in the middle of the field, kind of looking at the sky while they listen for the replay center to either actually call a penalty sometimes. So, and here's another, to your point, Maz, the question and the issue of competitive balance is at stake here in some ways. Let's say in a playoff game, the replay center comes in and says, there was no flag on the play, but we noticed a roughing the passer call that extends a drive. What if the same thing happens the other way and they don't stop the game and call on the other team the roughing the passer call? Now that those two, one miss and one change of a penalty that wasn't thrown or wasn't called, that has now affected the competitive balance of a playoff game, and that is a major problem in my book.
So Colson brought up a good point too, and it's kind of one of the plays that I probably would have thought. The blatant face mask on AJ Ouellette a few weeks ago. It's like, was anybody were they gone to the bathroom? Were they out for a smoke at that part of the call down for that? It's so subjective, a lot of calls, and you can't do it all the time. I just feel as a football fan, there are some that are easy, and it's like, how many guys are in us 4 right here, Count Colson? We would figure it out.
Yeah. Glenn, I'm ready to go back to the point of the old school ways of, and now however this shakes out being a Rider fan, because I only see green most of the time. If it was just back to live human refereeing, and however that plays out, that plays out like it used to be, because I think then we get our game back. Because you could, like Glenn, you'd said, on every play there's holding. You could eye in the sky a holding call on every play if you wanted to, and find pass interference probably on every play. But that's not good for football. That's not good for our game.
No, and you guys ask Darian Durant this too, because he's an offensive-minded guy. So I'd be interested to hear his opinion on it. But right now the pass interference is become just. I think the pendulum has swung so far to protecting receivers and allowing receivers to, you can barely as a DB even make any type of contact at all, or else you're getting a penalty. And those
they bait them in too.
Exactly. So we do have to get back. I know it'll be discussed. You can't do it in the middle of the season. You can't do it at this point, because the coaches and players have been used to what's been going on. Don't necessarily like it, but it's what has happened. So they'll go to the end of the year. They'll have the rules committee. I think if the new commissioner, Stuart Johnston, wants to make a real impact, there are a few things he can do right out of the gate. Now, they may seem small. This is not marketing and franchise values and, corporate greatness. This is things that can enhance the game in a big way. And Replay Center and its involvement and how you challenge is definitely one that's got to be completely revamped. We need to add players to the roster. We need to make the rosters bigger so you can get more you can get separate special teams, and that's going to take money, so they have to figure out the budget. And from a TV perspective, we need to figure out how to get Spider Cam on every one of those games. And that's the biggest difference to me. That's the camera, by the way, that hangs
over,
and it looks like a video game to kids. And when I watch the NFL and CFL, like our game, their field is smaller, so it shoots differently. But when we don't have the Spider Cam, it is completely noticeable to me now. And I think it's almost a mandatory. So I don't know how the league and our network and Bell and everything else works that out, because it is expensive, I believe, and stadiums have to be fitted all the time for it. So we have to do that. But
McMahon Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to do that. But those are three things that may seem like little things, but they go a long way to fixing the pace. The excitement level keeps going up. We have less injuries because of fatigue, and the game looks sharper.
There's a couple of kids out at the park always where I live that fly the drones. Just hire them. Don't need cables. The drone world is so intense now. Just had to have a drone hovering over somewhere. Kind of being facetious. Kind of serious.
We do that though, Barney. We use a drone for the scenics. When you're
for the opening shots.
Yes, the opening shots when we're coming into the stadium. We'll show you the big
beautiful downtown Regina as we get set for. We've been there. Glenn,
last night it was on fire.
Let's talk. Oh yeah, let's talk. Let's talk Thursday. Glenn, have a good night.
Yeah, and hey, good on Brett Lawther. I just want to throw that in before we go. Good on him, man. I was happy to see him have that kind of game.
5 for 5.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
No
Okay,
doubt.
guys, we'll talk Thursday.
So yeah, that is press coverage with Glen Suitor. It is brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090 to get a hold of the good folks at Bronco Plumbing and Heating. All right, now's the time to call. I'm seeing some of these texts too. We're going to read some of these, but it's Pump Jack Cathedral trivia time after the break. 936-6262. Rider question based on Mace or maybe O'Day. A chance to win $150 to Pump Jack's Cathedral. Call now. Colson standing by. 936-6262. We'll be right back. It's the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM.
You've worked hard for years, but when you retire, do you know your options that truly fit you and your family? That's where Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, and the team at GP Financial Services and Aviso Wealth come in. They help you understand your choices, avoid costly mistakes, and build a retirement plan. Independent advice, local expertise. Before you make the next move, talk to Chad Reach, 306-584-2755.
Mutual funds and other securities are offered through Aviso Wealth, a division of Aviso Financial Inc.
So since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it.
I don't even know.
That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did.
Down here, I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
The best bulls on the planet are coming for the bulls and their riders. Those 8 seconds go by in a heartbeat. 8 seconds to become a champion or nothing. This is Canada, and this is the PBR. The professional bull riders buck into SaskTel Center with 2 huge shows October 24th and 25th with the Saskatoon Classic. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.ca.
Here they are, the Cowboys of the PBR!
SEIU West members are
Stores Person,
Unit Assistant,
Finance Officer,
Unit Clerk,
Recreation Coordinator,
Youth Care Worker, Medical Laboratory Technologist,
Power Engineer,
Office Administrative Assistant,
Maintenance Services Worker, Medical Transcriptionist,
Medical Office Assistant,
File Clerk,
Medical Laboratory Assistant,
Pharmacy Technician.
the backbone of your public health care system. Learn more at seius.ca.
Get it hot, get it fast. Western Pizza.
Meet Todd. It's noon. He's really hungry, and his stomach makes sure to let him know it.
Todd, we talked about this. No more skipping meals. I need cheese. I need crust. I need Western pizza.
All right. Western pizza it is.
Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today before your stomach starts making demands.
And get it hot, get it fast. Western Pizza.
It's time for Sportscage Trivia for Pump Jacks. Great food, cold local draft, and a place that feels like home.
The ball is...
Pump Jacks was buzzing pre-game, post-game, that West Final. I might tell you where I'm going to be before the game. Pump Jacks Cathedral on Albert and 13th in Regina. The broccoli cheddar soup made in-house, Mass. And I know we're getting close to supper time. We've been talking about cabbage rolls. Halabshi. They make a sick soup. Unbelievable. Creamy, cheesy, all that. They got Wing Wednesday, over 15 flavors to choose from. That's tomorrow. Come early, stay late. And they have live music on the weekend. All right, we got Dan on the line. Dan called in. Dan, you there? Can you hear me loud and clear, Dano?
Yeah, you bet. I'm here.
Okay. Here's the question. You're going to have 10 seconds to answer it. Jeremy O'Day began his career as a Rough Rider player in what year? 1999, 1998, or 1997?
98.
Dan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 99, buddy. You know what?
I know it was 30 years.
Yeah, you still win a lunch, though. You still win a lunch from Pump Jacks Cathedral. Colson's going to grab her info. Stay on the line. Thanks for calling, Dan, again.
Okay, thank you very much.
1999, that's a long time ago, Maz. We don't want it to be a long time ago, but it is.
I know. Remember back when I think of, like, the 80s to me was yesterday, but the 80s is now 30, 40 years ago, but I don't think of it that way. Everybody will have that decade where they think, well, that was just, whoa, wait a minute.
Justin.
Like,
on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. This is something, Justin, that Sharky says every Thursday when he is here. Actually, Sharky gets mad because he's hungry and he has to go to Western Pizza after the show. But that Western Pizza ad is stuck in my head. What's that called? An earworm? They call that earworm. The kids call it.
Yeah, the kids. Question, if you missed any part of that Glen Suitor interview, go back, because Suits, I get it. He's an employee of TSN, so he's kind of got to walk the line, but he's not afraid to be honest with us because he loves the CFL and he wants to see a great product. This is a curious question. Let's say somebody walking along the sideline kicked out the extension cord at Mosaic Stadium and the command center feed went down. Do they stop the football game until it's up and running? Like, will they play the game if the feed is down to the command center? Because tech stuff happens all the time. Like, would they just leave it in the hands of, like, the live human officials to play the game because of timing purposes? Like, TV is still up, but just the command center feed is down.
I would think, as someone who worked in the TV world, and the play-by-play of sport world and all that, they would find out where that is unplugged. Colson, you're an AV guy. They would find that out, I bet you, in under 4 minutes. If you were walking around and for some reason unplugged it, you'd have to know which one to unplug too.
I was going to say, if it's an unplugged extension cord, like you said, it's either going to be 2 minutes or it's going to be 2 hours. It's always one or the other.
Are they using a power box? Is it the extension cord where you take the little one thingy and fit it into the other like I do at home because it doesn't fit out? And then I knew it's just a fire hazard.
And if Colson says it's either going to be 2 minutes or 2 hours, so is the 2 hour, they're union guys on the job and they got to get X amount of hours in because they ain't doing anything fast because we're here for the long haul? Or is it somebody hustling who's like an intern who's trying to get a job and all of a sudden, well, this is on me? So
no, it's the 2 hours because they don't realize it's an unplugged cable and they go to reset the servers first. They go to the big problem first and then go, oh, wait, it was unplugged. That's why it takes 2 hours.
Smash the servers. Have the IT team put in a ticket to find the issue.
I like it. I know.
Justin.
And then Curtis will ignore it. As we've established, Curtis will help anybody that's in senior management at our company without a ticket, but the rest of us peasants, when he sees tickets, he'll ignore them till he's got time to deal with us.
I like Justin. Who's Justin? Justin's funny. Jeffrey, big Calgary guy, he says McMahon is the Fenway Park of Canada. You should learn to revere it. Okay, sure. You tell yourself that, Jeffrey. You know that things are kind of a dump. I spent a lot of time this weekend. A lot of time at the Max Bell Arenas in Calgary. Nice. Memorial Drive. Man, I drove Memorial Drive from downtown a lot over the last 4 days. Traffic wasn't that bad. Interesting city.
Did you run into any protesters coming out of downtown? They always seem to be. It's always downtown. It's never nobody protests in the suburbs. It's always downtown.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Colson said you take a break. Come back. It's the Sports Cage. We are streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC. All the farmland and equipment you could need are available at auction this fall with Ritchie Brothers. A wide variety of farmland auctions across Western Canada will begin in earnest in October and run into December to get you ready for the next season. With new parcels of land and equipment continually added to their inventory, make sure to visit their website so you never miss an opportunity. Head over to rbauction.com to get started. Again, that's rbauction.com.
Sweater weather is here, and winter's not far behind. The last thing you want is your furnace quitting on the coldest night of the year. That's where Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling comes in. Their trained technicians will make sure your furnace is ready to keep you warm all winter long. Fast, reliable, and professional service, so you can enjoy winter without surprises. Book your service or explore their protection plans today at 781-2090 or visit broncoplumbing.com. Bronco, they'll treat you right.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
Affordability in Canada is getting worse. Canadians are now paying nearly half their paycheck towards taxes. That's more than on food, clothing, and shelter combined. It's unacceptable. Conservatives stand with hardworking Canadians and will take aim at the affordability crisis by bringing down taxes, cutting spending towards needless bureaucracy and consultants, and fight for fiscal discipline in this Liberal government. My name is Warren Steinley, your Conservative Member of Parliament for Regina Luban, and I will always be on Saskatchewan's side.
Paid ad by Warren Steinley.
Get it hot, get it fast. Western Pizza.
Can I help you?
Name's Terry Touchdown, sent by Western Pizza. I'm here to deliver the Saskatchewan Roughriders sweet deal. A large 3-topping pizza, 4 sticks of Greek souvlaki, a large Caesar salad, and a liter of soda. All for just $48.95 plus tax. And you're entered to win luxury suite tickets to watch the Riders, like a VIP.
And get it hot, get it fast. Western Pizza.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. From skid steers to tents to power tools, anything you need to rent for that summer job is at Prairie Land Rentals. Deal with the owner, 600 Albert Street. It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Big news out of Rider Camp today. General Manager Jeremy O'Day and head coach Corey Mace have each signed 2-year contract extensions, keeping them here till 2028. Little soccer tonight, a friendly, as they say. Canada-Colombia in New Jersey. Canada lost to Australia 1-0 on Friday. SJHL tonight, the Bombers are in Nipawin. Kindersley travels to Weyburn. Warman's in L'Orange. Prairie Junior Hockey League, regular season, the Moosomin Steelhawks are in Fort Knox. National Hockey League, the Canadians welcome Seattle. Nashville's in Toronto. Edmonton is in Madison Square Garden to take on the Rangers, and the Vegas Golden Knights and Calgary Flames go out at Major League Baseball. Dodgers, Milwaukee, Game 2. Jays are in Seattle tomorrow. Sportscage.com poll today. Will Bo Bichette play another game for the Toronto Blue Jays? You can vote at sportscage.com, and don't forget to get in on being a Sportscage insider. Sign up there. You can win tickets, tours, meet and greets, all that stuff. And hour 3, it's for Regina Steelcraft Doors, made in Western Canada for Western Canada. Regina Steelcraft Doors. You need a good garage door with the way the weather's going recently. I'm going to be in the market for a new garage door. And luckily, they got a 40,000 square foot facility, Maz, and I can go grab one from them. Let's anything to recap that you think we missed on the O'Day and Mace? Not one text message being negative.
No.
A couple negative ones on other teams in and around the area, but nothing on, because I think the fans, we have smart listeners, smart fans, where it's like they're doing a good job.
Well, they're 12-4 and we're heading into the playoffs. There's no better time. Like you wouldn't do, like, if you were to lose out in the playoffs, you don't announce this the next day because everyone would be like, well, wait a minute. Like, this is the perfect time if you're going to do it, this is the perfect time to do it.
Colson?
And they were signed through next season is what we found out. It's not like their contracts were up in like another month when the season ends. They were here for 2026.
They'd be hired pretty quick.
There was technically one on Twitter. He replied to Dave's article about it, saying they should have waited until they won a playoff game. And I went, didn't we beat BC last year? Wasn't that a thing in the playoffs?
That guy's that's the guy, right? Negative guy. Okay, we got to get to sprinkle of the day for Sports Select. Do it on your phone, tablet, PC, print off. Now it's a QR code. You go into your Lotto Spot retailer and they print it off right there. Or you can fill out the forms. I like filling out the forms. I did it a lot in Calgary this week. Somebody told me when I did my one ticket in Calgary, keep the receipt. You're going to need it if you win. I was like, what? In a weird world is this for Sports Select? But you know what? You want to hear how bad? And Colson, bring it up. Here's sprinkle of the day. Colombia, Canada soccer. Ask me how much I know about this game. I know more about the Apollo coming back, Apollo 13 mission, than I do about Colombia, Canada. But
what are you doing?
Canada on Pro Line is $3.90. But where I would look is that over-under. They lost to Australia 1-0 on Friday. I think the under. Anybody? The under. I'm going over-under. I'm going under in this one tonight. You can get in on the action. Must be 18 years to play. Play responsibly. Yeah. I bet on soccer. I bet a 3-gamer. Soccer was one of them. Get this. What was it? I think there was an afternoon hockey game, or there was a hockey game I knew nothing about, but I'm like, Capitals in Madison Square Garden. Then I find out, I'm like, oh, they played again. They played last night, you dunce. But that's a quick trip. I hit that one, lost the Blue Jays, lost soccer. Like, that serves you right for betting on soccer and baseball. What's next, basketball?
Well, speaking of betting and losing and a lot of people losing their mind, the Buffalo Bills losing to Atlanta last night. There was so much money put on Buffalo. And if you're a Bills fan, I saw this crazy stat today. The teams they've beat are like 2-20-something. Like, they've beaten nobodies and they're losing to the team. So I said, everybody likes Josh Allen, but I don't know if the Buffalo Bills are as good as their 4-2 record, because last night they looked pretty pedestrian against an Atlanta team that I don't think is all that good. And Washington, what are you doing? Ball security there. You're making the Chicago Bears look good.
This is the part of the NFL season where I can't figure it out. And I got out of my survivors, I got one left. One. The Lone Ranger. Okay, Colson's telling us we got a break. That's it, Colson. Good job. Maz, good job. Maz is back tomorrow at Sportscage. Thanks for tuning in.
Rider Nation lives on 620 CKRM. I'm Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Friday is game day as the Riders take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Countdown to kickoff with Justin Dunk and Tegan Whitkos at 3. The pregame show's at 5. And kickoff with Luke Mullender and I is at 6. Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network is brought to you by UFA and Croft Electric. Stream every moment of Rider football at sportscage.com.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including